And we are live with Dan the Man Boxing, EJ Boxing Live. And boy, we're going to cover over the weekend. And what a weekend, a great weekend of boxing it was. Let's start off with one of the first bombers, or should I say bombshells, happening in the early day. Terry Harper getting upset by, what's this girl, Alicia?
Baumgartner.
Yeah. What's your take? What was your take on that one? And did you? I didn't know too much. I know Terry Harper. I thought she lost against what's the girl? The girl from Miss GB, Natasha
Natasha
Jonas. Right?
Jones.
Yeah, she blatantly won, right? In my opinion, but this one here was. This is what you need to do, bro. You conclusively take her out. By the way, Alicia is with Eddie Hearn, and Harper is with Steffi Ball, one of the small promoters in England. And they offered her because she got a title to fight who she wanted to fight. And Eddie said, "Yo, this is one of Eddie girl's signing." So to be there, everyone's blaming Eddie, but this has actually worked out. His girl's got the world title. What's your take?
I didn't know she signed a deal with Matchroom. I know it. I thought she was promoted with TNT with Mayweather Promotions, but I guess I was wrong there. But let me just say this: when this fight got made, I was surprised that Terry Harper and Steffi Bull took this fight because Alicia Baumgartner she was no tune-up type of fighter, and I've seen her fight several times. I know she lost to what's her name? I can't pronounce her last name. She's a Greek fighter. She beat she had the WBO super lightweight title, and Katie Taylor was the one that grabbed that title away from her. But anyhow, that was her only loss on the record. She's never been stopped. This is a woman whose style, is built on speed and athleticism, and that displayed in the 4 rounds of the fight, in the 4 rounds in the fight that she had with Terry Harper. So, I mean, she had the speed, she had the reflexes, she had she had a great punch output. She knew how to place her shots together. She's got a very good jab, and that jab I was surprisingly, is very deadly. So, I was surprised that Terry Harper took the fight, especially given the fact that she was in a war with Natasha Jonas, a fight that she took a lot of punishment, which she almost got knocked out in that fight. But, go back into that 11th round where Jonas had landed a very good 1-2 combination, right, then, a left hook and right. And then that stumbled hard, the Harper was stumbled all over the place in that 11th round. But, I mean, she recovered pretty well. But the point is that I was surprised they took the fight, and she's coming off hand surgery, Terry Harper, that is. So I would figure they would want to take some type of tune-up fight, like an Erica Frias type of fight, tune-up. But yeah, but it is what it is. Is there a rematch clause? I don't think so. If there is, I suggest that Terry doesn't take it. I'm just being honest. So I'm not shocked at all that this fight ended the way it did. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised at all. I know people call it an upset, maybe because of the fact that Baumgartner is unknown to a lot of people. But yeah, this was not surprising to me.
Okay, yeah, well, I think the reason why she took the fight instead of taking it because it was a home fight, it was at home, and she could sell a lot of tickets and make a lot of money because it was in Leeds, and it was a big show. Obviously, Kid Galahad was in it, and Leeds, they were trying to build that market. So obviously, she's defending the belt. In front of her home crowd, she was gonna, it's nice money and it's more exposure to OBC. And I think, she needed that, because this girl's a stiff test. But they looked at Alicia and said, she's little, America. But it seems like these little American girls are doing what the Americans did back in the 80s, bro. Yeah, Buster Drayton, Tim Witherspoon, you know what I'm saying? DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, Emmanuel Augusta, Tim Bradley, Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence, that Muhammad Ali. Don't forget Muhammad Ali now.
True.
Right? You know what I'm saying? They're doing what the Americans have been doing. So the men have been doing it for years, and now it's time the women to come to whoop some ass. And the thing I thought if it went to the scorecard, they would have robbed her, and nothing would have said it. They knew they had to stop her. The punch she threw over Terry over the jab, and she threw a lazy jab over the top was reminiscent to me of the same punch that. What was actually, it was in my mind. Actually, it was the same thing. It's robbed her of her senses. I mean, yeah, I know it was. Was it Tommy Hearn's fight? No, it wasn't Tommy Hearn's fight. It was one of them fights that I did. Oh yeah, that's it. I got it now. Yep. Donovan Curry versus versus
Mike McCallum
Milton McCrawley.
or Milton McCory. Yeah,
Yeah, it was the same thing. That was a unification bout at welterweight. And Donald Curry just kept on putting pressure on him, and then he caught him and he knocked him down, and then he came back in and just finished him off. This one, actually, this one here, it could have been devastating. I think the referee done the right thing. She was out on her feet. The girl was walking, sleeping. She was sleepwalking, literally, and she was going in to finish her off, and she timed her beautifully. What a right hand over the top of the jab, bro! And she was with TMT and Mayweather and stuff. This is the thing about a lot of women's sports. There's loads of great women fighters in America, but they get robbed when it goes. They have to fight in Argentina, they have to fight in Mexico, and they get robbed all the time. The Alicia Slick Ashley used to get robbed all the time, and because she got no promoter, it used to happen all the time. But in the UK. Right, there was robberies going on. So they said, "All right, cool. We gonna finish you off, bro." And I think that was amazing. I don't know what she does now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it also reminds me of Keith Thurman when he fought for Jesus Soto Karass. Same situation in that fight when Thurman threw a beautiful 1-2 and Karass was stunned. He was out on his feet, and then the referee had to come in and stop it because he caught another shot coming in before the referee could step in, but. I guess it was a grazing. I say grazing shot, but I think it was a shot. It's kind of like the same situation with Harper. Is the referee stepped in right away, knew she was gone. She couldn't continue. She was in no position to continue. She didn't argue the stoppage. But the one thing I would say though is that the fans in the attendance, they booed the stoppage. They were not happy about that. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, well, what do you want? Did you want Terry Harper to get killed? I mean, she literally could have got killed if she took another blow.
Yeah,
a big blow. I'm not saying get killed, but she could have gotten seriously hurt if she took one big blow.
They were big blow. Yeah, but you got to understand these guys. Leeds have had like major world guys, like people that Ashley Crawford Ashley, who fought Michael Nunn. They had like that kind of thing, Josh Warrington, whatever. So when it came down to it, it was like okay, they were so charged up and they so backed her so much. They're blind. Their fans are actually blind and ignorant as well. They booed her and she said, "Yeah, I like that. Yeah, boo me." She actually got off on them booing her. They didn't realize that, and it made her inspired her like Marvin. Hey, we forgot Marvin Hagler beating Alan
Minter. Yeah.
That's what it was, bro. It inspired her. And hey, was that Tony Harrison or was that Tony Harrison's brother? One of the trainers. That was Tony Harrison, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Tony Harrison's brother.
He's one of his is his brother? What's his brother's name?
Damn, I forgot the dude's name. Shoot.
Yeah, I thought it was Tony Harrison. Yeah, okay, it was his brother. But she rolls in some good company, man. And I just said to myself, there's some she was skillful. She just timed her beautifully. And Harper was walking. She jabbed to the body and she lunge jabbed, and she just came over. But you see Harper. She looked weak, bro. Like this girl, Alicia, I don't know what she got in her hands. You got TNT. But you see, Eddie Hearn knew this.
Yeah.
They knew this. They caught it. And we're going to get onto the Kiko Martinez one. Eddie Hearn won. Everyone thought Eddie Hearn's lost. No, Eddie Hearn's actually picked up titles.
So he signed up. You see, this is what I mentioned yesterday in my post fight. He may have signed some type of deal. And this is why a lot of people, some fighters don't like to deal with Eddie Hearn sometimes because he says, look, if you beat my fighter, then I should have promotional fights to you with your fighter for the next couple 1-2 fights, or whatever the case may be. And that's probably one of the reasons why Deontay Wilder didn't want to sign that deal with Joshua. That was probably one of the reasons. But in this case, Alicia Baumgartner, I mean, obviously she had no choice. Like, who else is going to promote you? So fair enough. Eddie Hearn doesn't lose much out of it. But the fact is, it's still not a good night at all because Terry Harper is supposed to be one of your marquee fighters. She is one of your marquee fighters, and you're supposed to possibly set up a showdown between her and possibly Chantel Cameron or Katie Taylor. But the thing is that Terry looked kind of
weak.
She looked disinterested, uninterested, I should say. She didn't seem like she didn't want to be there. And I heard there's some issues with her when it comes to confidence in some with some of her fights. So but given the fact that she's been out the ring for more than a year and she's had hand surgery and she's coming back and fighting a fighter like this, I would advise against that. I'm like, why would they put her in there with a fighter like Alicia Baumgartner?
She's the champion. So she's the champion. She has to defend, and that's why it's like Kell Brook, right? He lost against Golovkin. He had to defend against Errol Spence, or you can get stripped.
Right.
Eddie Hearn, and that's why Eddie Hearn signed. Eddie Hearn's monopolizing the women's division.
Well, not anymore. He lost some of his key fighters over to Sky Sports Boxer. So
Who did he lose?
He lost Jonas. He lost Marshall. He lost.
Jonas is man. Jonas was never Jonas. Man. Jonas. Ooh, Savannah Marshall.
He lost her. He lost her.
Yeah, but Savannah Marshall, he didn't want. Yeah, but he didn't want to put. He knew Clarissa was gonna beat her. That's why he wanted. He didn't want to give Clarissa the money. He knew that already. So that he ain't really lost. I don't think he's really lost love. And look, he's got a new champion here. And this girl can do well. I think he can promote her pretty well. She said she want to come over here. I might as well build her career over here. Yeah, might as well. I like her, man. She's very good on the eye. She's good on the eye, bro. She is good on the eye. My God, man. She looks. You know what I'm saying? She ain't bad on the eye, man. I actually got a picture of her. Actually, I'm gonna
Aobs, and he was on my chat yesterday. He thought she was some type of IG model.
Yeah, she is, man. She is. I got a picture up. I'm gonna pull up one picture, right? And then you can see for yourself. And you told me, what's this girl playing? She knows she's hot. She knows she's when she jumped into man's lap, right? When she jumped into the man's arms, I was thinking all kinds of things, that.
Oh, dude. Let's not talk about that, bro.
I was, bro. The way she jumped in the man's arms, I was like, yo, bro, this girl, bro. I was like, yo, this girl is against, she look at that. She good on the eye, man. She good on the eye. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, if that's gonna bring tickets, and you kind of want her to win because she's kind of attractive as well. But then the fact is, look, there you go. Look at this picture here. Look at that picture right here, Dan. That's her.
I know that's Alicia Baumgartner, man. Look.
That's her right there, man. Look at that. Everything looks like it's popping, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen. She's bad. She's bad, bro. She great smile. You know what I mean? She just go, who's that girl? She aight. You know what I mean?
She can fight too. She got hands, so don't let that pretty face and body fool you.
Hey, let me ask you, are you a fan of women's boxing after this now? Like you can't wait to see her again?
I've always been a fan of women's boxing. And one thing I would say though is that Michaela Mayer called her out for a fight.
Yeah,
Michaela Mayer. Let me first things first. Let me just say this: she's blowing a lot of hot smoke. I give her credit for the Maya Bahamadouche win a couple weeks ago. Some people felt that she got the gift of decision, by the judges based off the scoring against Bahamadouche. Look, I thought she won the fight, but there was no way she dominated that fight. So she can't come out and say she dominated Bahamadouche. That didn't happen. She took a lot of punishment in that fight. But anyhow, she's claiming that Baumgartner don't want no smoke. She didn't even mention my name after the post fight with Harper and this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, I'm not sure if Michaela caught this, but Alicia Baumgartner did say she wants all the smoke. She said anybody can come get it at 130. In fact, there's interviews that took place a couple years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, where Baumgartner came out and said that my team wanted that fight. We tried to make that fight with Michaela Mayer. She didn't want it. So unless now Michaela Mayer may have to respond to that and say that's a lie. She's going to come up with some type of talking point, but she's not the boogeyman, the boogie person, or the boogie woman, as you want to call it, at 130. She's very beatable. She's got flaws. She's got a tight defense. I'll give her that, but she gets hit a lot. And Maya Amadouche proved that. Yeah, she's got a good chin. She's got durability, but can she withstand a power? Because, mind you, Baumgartner was fighting at 140. She's a naturally bigger girl. Mm-hmm. So... And you saw she got pop in her hands, and she's got the speed too. Can Michaela Mayer deal with that? I thought she was going to lose to Hamadouche. I thought she was, but I mean, look, that's a fight I definitely want to see. I think Eddie should try to make that fight next.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know who that girl is. I don't care because, like, real talk, she tried to clout chase. I saw the video. I was like, I never heard of you, but when you fight in the UK, it seems like the UK, the US and New York is a very big market. But it seems like America doesn't really care about women boxing. But Eddie Hearn has made a point to care about women's boxing, and she fought over here, and everyone saw her. And this girl, I've never seen her fight. I couldn't care to, but I want to see this girl here, and I want to see what she does next. But Terry Harper, I mean, she to be fair, she lost against Natasha Jonas. Now, I would like to see this girl versus Natasha Jonas. How about that? They're both pretty. What do you think?
That's a good fight. I mean, that's if Joe Gallagher wants it. I doubt he put her in there. Put Jones in there against. I doubt that. I mean,
it was sell, man. It was sell, bro. That stylistically, that's a beautiful fight, bro. Right?
Yeah, it definitely sell. But Joe Gallagher, like what he likes to do, he like to fucking try to milk the situation and keep his fighters from fighting big fights unless they get a lucrative, big
Well,
lucrative
she's got the
purse.
belt, bruh. Well, she's got the belt. Like real talk, she got the belt. If she, what then she goes, she Alicia don't mind coming to Liverpool and
Yeah.
in Natasha Holmes' home turf and giving her a gift. I think that would be a great fight. I think the fans in UK would be a next fight, and I think we would warm to see that because I feel like she got robbed against Terry Harper, and you know, Alicia's like, yo, y'all bring the belts over and defend it. I think that would logically to me would be her next step. And she old as well. She
Yeah,
old.
she is old. She's not got much time, but
Jonas,
she's. But according to Eddie Hearn, and there may be some truth to this, they offered Jonas the rematch with Terry Harper, and she turned it down. Not
Nah,
her,
nah,
but Joe
yeah, yeah.
Gallagher is the one that turned it down.
No,
And
no,
they
I
all,
know because they were gonna rob her anyway. No, I think, but I'm talking about Alicia. I don't care about Terry Harper right now. She out of the picture, but I think she's got a rematch clause. Actually, hopefully, I don't. After that beating, you think she's gonna take the rematch clause?
nah, I don't think she will.
I think she
I'll
will.
be
I think she
surprised.
will. I
I'll be
think she will.
surprised if she takes that rematch because
Mm.
now because when Eddie Hearn was asked about this in the presser, we'll get into the other fight in a minute. But when he was asked about this, he said that that'd be up to Terry if she wants it. This, that, and the third. So by that indication, that means that he's going to advise against it. Don't take the rematch.
Nah, but it's Steffi Ball. Nah, but it's Steffi Ball. Yeah, Vadum's in prison, bro. yeah. She's in prison. Like she killed her husband, so she ain't going nowhere. That would have been a good fight as well. But
Vivian Ovenoff? Nah,
yeah, she's in prison. I liked her though. She was tough. I remember versus Kate Taylor, but yeah, she yeah, that would have been a good fight. But I think the next logical step for me is her and Nash Jonas. Let's move on to the next fight. The next one, the biggest fights over here. Listen, bro. I mean, when I watched it, you know, we have to go through this process here, bro. Yo, Kiko Martinez upsetting Kid Galahad. Yo, when I watched the fight, right, I was like, yo, this guy is doing the business on this kid. He's southpaw orthodox. He's cutting him up. He's wobbling. When he was a southpaw, Galahad was wobbling him the straight left. I didn't understand why he switched back. And I was watching the fight, and I was like, yo, why did you tell me he knocked him out? I was like, really? I was like, I couldn't see it. And all of a sudden, yo, he just swung a bloody right hand from hell. You know what I mean? And he just like, yo, he was leaning back and he caught him. It's like, whoa. The thing is, you can't disguise. The man's got 30 knockouts, bro. So even though Kiko Martin, he's washed, everyone usually stays away from him. They box and they stay away. But Kid Allen, for one reason, he was actually getting close to him and fighting him right up close. I was surprised. Usually you fight him at long range, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? That's why, but he still, but you look at his record, he loses to guys who just on the move. But he's always in the fight, right? And he just stood there right in range, and it was too late, bro. When he tried to pull out, his reflexes being inactive, bro, I caught him on the chin, and then he had a minute to rest in the corner. But they said maybe some people said they shouldn't have came out, but I think they had to put him out. But they should have gave him instructions. Look, just move, bro. Just move. Kiko just rolled up and just bobbing him out. This has never happened to Kiko Galahad before. He's supposed to be a defense genius, punches, but time catches up with everyone. And I think his reflexes are shot, and I think his chin is shot. And also, I heard he struggled to make the weight 3 or 4 times, and that consequently, signet end. I don't see how he comes back from that. But this is boxing. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. I was going to. First thing I want to say, this upset. I mean, I would say this is actually the upset of the night. I didn't expect this to happen because as you say, we all thought that Kiko was washed up, a shot fighter. That is not just washed up, but totally shot fighter. Old. He's in his mid-30s. He's just there to collect a paycheck. I mean, this was supposed to be a showcase fight for Galahad in his first title defense. And to your point, though, I think the reason why he lost is because the weight, man. He was struggling to make this weight. And when you do that, because you could see him going in tonight, he was huge to be at 130 pounds. And I think that the weight cut really was detrimental to why he lost that fight. Because when he took the shot, to me, it was a beautiful planted shot. But I don't know. In my view, I didn't think Kiko threw like a lot of muster into it but he connected in the right spot. I would just say the least. When he connected, Galahad was gone. He couldn't recover from that. So, and shocking win. Very surprised how this went down. Now, as far as the rematch is concerned, Eddie Hearn did allude that they will more likely take the rematch on this one, and I can see why. Galahad can win it because it's like you got caught, you made a mistake, you was pretty much winning the fight, and you just got caught. You made a mistake. You did keep it at long range, as you pointed out, EJ, and he tried to fight him up close, and you gave pretty much Kiko the only opportunity, a chance to win the fight by fighting him in close range. Now, get Galahad, and once they get into the rematch, now he knows that he can't engage with him and give him any chances to throw off his combination, throw off his punches in the inside. So he's got to keep it at long range and keep the fight there. Don't go for the knockout. I mean, go for the knockout. The knockout will come, So, that's the way it is. As far as getting Galahad being done, I'm not too sure about that. This is the only loss on his record. He is 32, so he's still young. Will he be the same fighter? I don't know. We have to see how he could bounce back from this mentally. But me personally, as far as the rematch is concerned, he's having trouble making this weight. So I doubt that they'll take the rematch. They're probably just going to go up to 135 and then come back to it whenever they can, hopefully. But like I said, when I come back to it, they're going to have to bring Kiko up to 135. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, well, I look at it like this. Kiko Martinez, they were talking about one of the greatest Spanish fighters of all time. I said, listen, he's there in the top 5, but I got Sergio Martinez number 1. In fact, I didn't know that many Spanish fighters. I got Javier Fortuna, not Javier Fortuna.
Javier Castellano. Yeah,
Javier, because he knocked out, I think he knocked out a Mexican guy who Roy Jones beat. He also fought De La Hoya. He was another one.
Yeah, he fought Vargas too. He fought Vargas and De La Hoya. Yeah, Fernando Vargas.
Yeah. He was good. I like. He was a very good Spanish fighter. And also you got Sander Martinez, the one who just beat Mikey Garcia. He's there as well. But the Spanish fight, there's not many. But this one here, listen, that one there is going to put him in the stratosphere. And I think Eddie Hearn manages Kiko Martinez. That's the thing, right? Even though he's with Kid Galahad on these things, he kind of been always putting Kiko Martinez as a journeyman, a tough guy to test people. But he never thought that would happen. But This is the thing, when you keep going to the well all the time with Kiko Martinez and keep giving him bouts. The thing is, he was active. The Azafa battle, the Azafa
Bear.
He won that fight, right?
Yeah.
He won that fight, but the Kiko was in the fight and he's dangerous, you know what I'm saying? But this is the thing, you gotta stay, because he's a short guy, you gotta stay out of range. Remember, initially, he's a bantamweight. He all the way when I was looking at his resume, got Bernard Dunn, he's got Carl Frampton twice, Gary Russell Jr. He's got what's his name again? Leon Santa Cruz. He fought all the cup guys, bro. Yeah. But they all weren't. They ain't trying to engage with this dude here. But he for whatever reason, Dominic Ingle had him right in front of him to be hit. I think he was going for the knockout. I think they wanted to make a statement to knock him out. Sergio Martinez is from Argentina. Oh my bad.
Yeah, he's from Argentina. Yeah.
That's true. And you know what?
He lives in Spain. He lives in Spain. So
yeah. That's why I was confused. Yeah. You know what? We must. He must be the greatest then. But he said another guy. He said Carlos someone from Spain is better than him. That's what Sergio Martinez said. He said someone else is better than him from Spain. So.
There aren't many. I mean, Spain is not a big. Boxing population. So there's only a couple of fighters that we know who came on the world world and fought well there. That was obviously Kiko Martinez and Javier Castillo. So that was just only two.
No, but he mentioned some guy called Carlos, but he mentioned Rendon Monroe. That was a good fight with Kiko Martinez. Kiko's been on our shores for the longest, bro. He must well live in England, bro. He be fighting over it all the time. I
think he does. Does he have residence in the UK, or he just comes over because he's close? Is closer to Spain.
Yeah,
he just comes over. Yeah,
but Spain ain't really got a really fighting base. But Eddie Hearn is trying to build a resort in Spain and trying to get Sander Martinez and Kiko Martinez on the build. I think he has the world champion now and the guy who just beat Mikey Garcia. You can do something with these boys, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? Look, you say that Eddie Hearn's not hurting because of these losses. Because he's got these guys on promotional commitments, what I mean by those fighters, Alicia Baumgartner and Kiko Martinez. But the fact is that this was supposed to be a showcase card for both Terry Harper and Kid Galahad.
Not really.
Yes, really. It was. This is the way it was supposed to be set up.
Listen. No, hold up. Dan, Kid Galahad is a free agent, right? So he does fight. He was doing a fight by fight deal with Eddie Hearn. He ain't really got a long-term contract. And Terry Harper is with Steffi Bowl. He's a small-time promoter. So they was against. So Eddie was basically facilitating the competition. You know what I'm saying? So he got Alicia with him. So he's happy. He shocked as everyone about the result. But if anything, Eddie's gained another two two world champions on the same night. That's what he's got.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, isn't Dillian White on a fight-by-fight basis? There's no commitment there between those two.
Right now, I don't know what Dylan hasn't committed to a long-term contract with DAZN, but I don't know about he ain't got a contract with Matchroom. I don't know if that contract's run out. I'm not too sure. But
they never had a contract. They only had a fight-by-fight basis deal. That's all it is. It was just like a fight-by-fight. That's all it was.
Is that what this?
Yeah, it's always been that way with Dillian. Yeah, it's always been that way.
If that's what Frank, that's why Frank was saying he wants to get in, but Dillian's trying to weigh out his options because right now he's in the sweepstakes to fight Tyson Fury to make the most money in possible. But I tell you, he knows better to go with Frank Warren though. He knows better. He knows better. Frank will con him out that money.
Well, you know what's funny though, because they speaking of that, they actually want this fight to go to purse bid for some reason. Dillian White, Tyson Fury. That's Dillian White's team, Matchroom. They want to go to purse bid. And I don't know why, but okay, fine. If you think you can win the purse bid, you can. But the question is this. If you get outbidded, are you going to pull out like you did with Kubrat Pulev? That's a question somebody should ask Eddie Hearn. Are you going to pull out the fight like you did with Kubrat Pulev? When you guys thought you were going to win that purse bid, but next year out of nowhere, you got blindsided by another group, and then you pulled out of the fight. Yeah. So that's a question that Eddie Hearn. Somebody should ask Eddie Hearn. Are you going to pull out the fight if you lose the purse bid?
Hey, bro, that's true. Hey, this is going to be another upset. Boatsy ain't beating this guy.
Master Flashkoff.
He ain't beating that guy, bro. Like that guy beat Joe Smith, right?
Yeah,
and he's had like how many amateur fights and stuff like that. But Boatsy, I know he's with Thingy. Listen. If he beats this guy, it'll be. Listen, if he beats this guy, you might as well say that there will be old titles in his grasp. You know what I mean? You might hand it over because real talk, this guy he's fighting is a real live test. He ain't got punching power. He's got hand speed. Yeah. He's a busy, very busy fighter. But it's a real hard test for Joshua Boatsy. I was surprised they took the fight, but
me too. I'm very surprised.
It's about time, bro. But it's real talk. Like I think it's like European world level because they looked at the guy and really powerful. But right. I think Virgil Hunter and them guys want to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, look. To be fair, it's kind of like it's mixed messages here because Boatsy does need stiffer competition. We give him that, but I guess they felt that Maxim Flashkoff would be a good test. I mean, it definitely is, but this is like, I don't know, man. I think a better test would have been a guy like maybe. Well, I know he's having some. He's on suspension right now for being busted for a lot of PEDs. John Pascal, maybe that would have been better to be a good step up fight. But Flashkoff, man, this guy's in his prime.
Hard fight, man. It's a hard fight. He's got knockout power. He's quite. This guy ain't got no knockout power. Guy. He ain't really a puncher.
You're far away, bro.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying this guy ain't really a puncher, so that's why he's a mover. And so Boatsy's a fighter. So I think they're looking at Boatsy will get on his chest and start trying to put hands on him. So I think that's the reason why they took the style. And stylistically, it'll make good for TV. If he loses, it's no shame because the guy is good. He's had like how many amateur fights, but I think Boatsy team looked at it and said, like, if I win the fight, it's like, yeah, we're ready for the world title. And I think, bro, this guy literally won the world title, but he got robbed. It was in Joe Smith's hometown. It was a close fight though, but I gave it to.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like on par with the Michaela Mayer and Maya Hamadouche fight. Very close fight, but they gave Mayer essentially all the rounds of the fight. I'm like, what in the hell? I mean, there's no way she dominated that fight against Maya Hamadouche. I mean, I don't know what fight the judges are watching. The same situation with Joe Smith Jr. against Maxim Flashkoff. The same situation. Mm-hmm. Joe Smith did not dominate that fight. No fucking way in hell he did.
Don't swear language, man. Cause I get monetized. But go ahead, I'm listening.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but the fact is that I mean, look, the point is that. Yeah, I agree with your assessment on that. I mean, Flashkoff, if he wants to win the fight, especially in Bowatsy's backyard, he's going to have to win it emphatically. He's going to have to win it emphatically, just like Alexander Usyk did with Anthony Joshua. You're going to have to dominate the fight to the point that the judges it makes it difficult for them to give your opposing fighter any rounds. That's exactly what happened with Joshua. They tried so hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, but given the fact that Usyk dominated that fight the way he did, it was impossible for them to do so. So. So that's the way I see it. He's going to have to, Boatsy, I mean, it is a very, very difficult fight for him. But to your point, though, the reason why they probably took the fight because Flashkov is not a come for a fresher type of fighter. He's a mover. He's a boxer. I guess he's a boxer puncher, say at best, to say the least. But other than that, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. I know it's next month, and that's December 18th, as it's been penciled in for. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Let's move on stateside. Let's talk about Jaime Munguia, man, and Gabe Rosado. That fight right there. That fight right there. Gabe showed me that he's a dangerous guy. Gabe Rosado. He ain't nothing to play. He ain't nothing to sneeze at now. But you need to be able to tame him. And I think he showed frailty in there. He got hit with a couple of good shots, but Jaime done pretty well. He wasn't really marked up. He got hit with a couple of shots that I was kind of like, where Gate got him good, but he hung in there and he kept the hand speed, his conditioning, his speed was good. He was tired in spots, but he went through there. He went against a tough test, and I think going forward, that would get him ready for Triple G. If he comes with that work rate against Triple G ain't beating this kid, bro. Triple G hits hard, but the work rate of Jaime and the consistency, the persistence, I think he'll beat Triple G. And we're talking about the Charlo brothers. I mean, I think people be sleeping on Jaime, but Jaime can run the tables, man. He can run the tables. He's a very pleasing fight for the crowd. Pleasing fight for the crowd. And I think Jaime done well to stick in there and beat Gabe. Gabe was holding on and trying to catch him. I don't know what Gabe was trying to do, bring him in the late rounds, but Gabe, you got to work the body. I see Gabe deliberately holding, trying to hang on, catch him with some sneaky shots at the end of the round. Maybe he's thinking he's going to get him, but Jaime hold it up. And congratulations to Jaime Munguia, as Dwayne calls him, Alejandro, for retaining his WBO belt and putting himself on the map. And hopefully go on course to fight Triple G. If they fight Triple G, I'm gonna pull it right now, lay it out right now. Jaime Munguia beats Triple G right now. That's in my opinion. Go ahead, Dan. Talk your piece on this one.
I would say though, I'm very impressed by Jaime Munguia, the way he's been able to adapt and change his style, during the course of his career. Because as we first seen him, his first major fight that was against Saddam Ali, and by the way, he was a replacement opponent for Saddam Ali. And the way he blasted through Ali, we pretty much haven't seen Saddam Ali ever since, in a way. But in between fights, we know that this guy was just like in his earlier fights in Mexico. This guy would just was just a slugger. He would just stand, he'll sit there and trade with you. He'll take shots and give one back. That was always been his that was his initial style. But I am impressed to see that he's changed that style a little bit. I'm not a little bit. He's made significant improvements, to become more of a responsible fighter as far as placing your shots together, be more defensively responsible. Because Munguia is starting to show a lot better defensive techniques now under the tutelage of Eric Morales. So I'm starting to see that, I've been seeing that in his last few fights, and he's been very impressive. And I know, you can argue that the level of opposition is. It's like, who's he been fighting to be impressed with? I'm like, well, look, to be fair, you would say that Gabe Rosado was a good test to show that that multiplicity of the new skill that he's been bringing in the last few fights. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with Jaime Munguia. I'm very intrigued to see what he does next. I know. Now you say you want to see him fight Golovkin next. If Golovkin gets past Murata, which we expect that he does. Mm-hmm. But here's a problem with that. The zone is not going to re-up any. They're not going to re-up the deal with Golden Boy, from what I've been hearing. So what does that mean for the U.S. market as far as the fights is concerned for the zone?
So repeat that again. You're saying the zone is not going back. Golden Boy is not going back to zone. Now, why not? Why not? They do good work together. What's the problem?
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but I think it has something. It probably stems from the fact that the zone's not doing well financially here in the States. In fact, John Skipper, who was the initial leader of the Zone USA, he came out recently and said that the zone's been a failure in the United States. And based off those comments there, it seems to me, and based off the fact that we've also heard from initial ramblings that the zone is considering doing major cuts in the United States to pull back from it, because their whole mission was to get into the U.S. market, and the best way they felt was to do it is to get into boxing, right? Great, but the problem was that they bled away so much capital before they can even make it back, and they were trying to position themselves as a powerhouse when it comes to being a sports and entertainment provider by by attracting traditional TV viewers over to an app, which on a subscription base, which was going to work based off the fact that again you were paying high 8-figure purses to guys like Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, and so forth. And the fact is, you're not going to make that money back based off of subscription-based service alone. You're not going to do that, especially you're unknown to the American demographic, and it takes time to build a market share. But the fact is that I think it stems from the fact that they're financially, or you could say, somewhat throwing in the towel in the United States, unless the Eddie Hearn could somehow, some way produce very good cards here for the zone on the zone's behalf. But from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like they're going to do that. It seems like they're going to pull out of the U.S. market and focus more on the European market, particularly in the UK, especially now they're acquiring BT Sport. So they're going to focus on that and then the other parts of the world. So, that would probably explain why, according to the reports, that the zone will not renew Golden Boy's contract.
Wow. Well, I don't know if that. Well, we're waiting to see that deal goes through. Frank Warren, I think he said he's still got a deal with BT Sport. So if they're gonna get rid of him, they're gonna have to pay him off. Where Frank will take that money. I don't know what platform he's gonna go, but if that's the case, where does Golden Boy go? ESPN already got Top Rank.
Fox, that's an exclusive deal.
Up. Yeah, is that they're all exclusive? Where, like, I think personally,
I think the BBC is exclusive to Fox, but not Showtime.
Well, what I think what's going to happen with his stable, he's got a good stable. I think you can have two. I think you could have two promotions on Showtime.
That's fine. Yeah, Showtime will definitely take De La Hoya and Golden Boy, but Fox, I don't think so, because I think they have an exclusive deal with BBC, and ESPN definitely out of the question. So they have an exclusive deal.
Well, bro, you got Jaime Munguia and you got Virgil Ortiz, right? On the verge of going against Errol Spence, so it makes sense them joining up and getting it on. And this is the thing: Bob Aaron's working with PBC. De La Hoya has behaved himself now, and he might get Bernard Hopkins to get in there and negotiate for him. And I think that's the way to go forward. Because like I said, look, I'm on the zone and I see the fights, but it hasn't worked out. I think that they had the wrong person to market. I think if they gave it to Bob Aaron, I think he would have done better. Because he knows he knows how to conduct business, bro. Eddie's an idiot. Eddie's an idiot, bro. Eddie's a first-class idiot. You know what I mean? In terms of, he's an idiot in the way he came across to the Americans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in the UK, he's the man. He's the man over here. He is. He's like, he's done everything and doing it over here. But in America, hell no, bro.
Well, I think that another mistake, and I've been ridiculed for this, and I hate to go back to. I'll repeat myself. I've been ridiculed about this and made fun of 3 years ago, or 4 years ago when they launched, or 4 years ago. I don't know, but 3 years ago when they launched here. And I said that I don't see how this model is going to work for them financially. And people laughed at me. He's like, why you say that? I was like, because look, how are they going to expect to pay $35 million purses to guys like Canelo Alvarez, and then another $10 to $15 million for guys like Gennady Golovkin by a subscription-only revenue stream? I don't get it. The only way you can recoup that money is introducing a pay-per-view platform. They have to do it. And it's like, well, that's crazy. The zone is not supposed to be in the business of doing pay-per-view. They're going to kill pay-per-view. It's like, well, the problem with that is that the zone is not available in all parts of America. Broadband is not available in all parts of America. And for the app to work, you have to have access to broadband. That's number one. And I just don't. And number two, people are not going to pay a yearly subscription or monthly subscription by seeing Canelo fight once or twice a year, or Gennady Golovkin fight once or twice a year. They're not going to do that. What they're going to do is they're going to subscribe to their fights, and then they're going to cut it off, and then they're going to subscribe for a one-time charge. That's exactly what they're going to do. And what I was proven right. And since then, the zones had to make major financial changes, and from the looks of it, they are going to pull out of the U.S. market. The way things, if the reports are true, if they hold up. And now they're going to have a pay-per-view platform, which they should have launched 3 years ago, and they should have launched it based off a pricing tier. What I mean by that is that, okay, if you're a monthly subscriber, you only pay $20 to watch the pay-per-view fight. That's all you pay. Now, if you're a yearly subscriber, you only pay $10 for the fight, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're a non-subscriber, you pay $50 for the fight. That's the way they should have done it, but they didn't do that. So that's a mistake they made. Now they're you gotta learn. You have to learn to make money. You have to learn from your mistakes. So now I was proven right, and now people are pissed off the fact that the zone is introduced pay-per-view. Now they're cutting off their subscriptions. But hey, they gotta survive. They gotta make money. So it is what it is.
Well, listen to this, right? My man's saying it right now. Once the zone gets Premiership football and the Championship League, it's over for everyone else. Do you understand? Yeah, that football is like it's like religious, like American. What you call it over there? Football. What you call over here? Or you call
American
it soccer?
Football, NFL. Yeah.
All right. So it's the magic. It's like the zone purchasing that league and putting it on their channel. If the zone gets the rights, gets BT Sport and gets the Premiership, and they can go in there. I'm telling you, all the football supporters, they'll straight buy the subscription all over the country will go straight away. They will get their money's worth on that. That's
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. They're gonna
and the football, because the football fans are the same as the boxing fans. They follow the boxers like they follow the football teams, right? So what I'm saying is that if they get that now, I like people. Everyone's saying the deal's going down. Man, Aobs and my man Anthony McKean, they all say the deal's going down. Like I don't know what Frank Warren said. I don't know about it. I ain't heard. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm just waiting to see what's going on. But if they get that, they're going to make a big inroads in England. And Eddie Hearn's going to be in the most powerful position in England. Right, hands down. Like he'll control England boxing.
Hey, hold on. I got to make a correction here. Aob says that, nah, Dan, you said the zone will not last. I was like, no, I didn't say the zone didn't last. I said that the zone would last, but they have to make changes. I never said they were going to last. I said, look, if they're going to want to make money, they have to make changes. If they don't do it, then they can see that they don't last. I never said they're going to die out completely. No, I said that they're going to have to make changes, and I said they're going to have to do pay-per-view. That's going to happen. Watch. And I was proven right. So, I never said they were going to die in America. No, I never said that part. I said they were going to introduce pay-per-view based off the fact that they were losing money and they were not getting enough subscribers. That's what I said. But go ahead.
I look at it like this, right? I'll put it like this, yeah. What happens if they get the Premiership? I tell you what, man, that's a game changer.
Absolutely. In the UK and in Europe, absolutely, that's a game changer for you guys.
It is. But I don't know if that's going down though, because I don't know, like. I ain't heard no news. I mean, if it does go, everyone's talking about it, but I don't know. I don't know if BT really. What's BT gonna do with themselves if they give up that? Like, where are they going? Well, what's BT? Because BT has phone lines, right? They have the phone lines. They got the BT Sports thing, but it's never catch light. Nor is the zone. So them BT ain't really doing nothing in the market either. Like Sky Sports is still Sky Sports, even though they're both on Sky. Sky Sports still the premier kind of channel that you go to, has the box office and everything. BT just got box office recently, so now you're going to take the zone and pull it on BT, change it. But then that's good because the BT customers, they're going to get all access to the zone's footage, all the boxing and everything and the sports. So then it's going to be easier. I'll be honest with you, in the UK, that will just completely revolution the market in a good way. But at the same time, I don't want Zone to succeed. I never wanted Zone to lose. I've been hating on the Zone for the longest, but I can't. But I'll be honest with you, if they get into that, it's like when they get into them blood cells, if they get into the football blood cells, it's a problem, bro. It's gonna be a problem. It literally is. It's gonna be, because then after that they can go into other sports and they can take the NFL and put the NFL on their network as well. If they can get the Premiership in all of its glory, the Championship, then they can go into the NFL and have their thing, and then they've quartered the UK and they have America. That's the only, you know what I'm saying? That's literally is how close it could be if they could get the Premiership over. I believe BT Sports has the Championship League exclusively already. See, there you go.
It's funny though. The Zone could have. I mean, obviously, I don't think that this would have worked, because their whole intention was to get access to the other premier sports leagues like the NBA, the NFL, and guess what? Believe it or not, the MLS, which is a counterpart to the Premier League here in the United States, that's become a very popular sport here in the United States. Yeah. So, and I think the MLS got that huge lucrative deal with ABC, ESPN, just like the NBA does. So that'd be difficult for the Zone to get on that. But if they were to get like the MLS, and they have a good position in the United States, but but the fact is that, again, given the fact that they were trying to position themselves to bid for those sports, In the United States, that wasn't going to happen because Disney is paying them billions of dollars of rights, billions of dollars. So could the zone compete with that for those rights? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a change. But right now, the way boxing is, that weekend the show's Boxing Day, and that when people think their predictions are gonna be right, and everyone's sitting down, this fight's boring. It's like Derek Shaw fighting Joseph Parker. Everyone's a bit, bro. That could happen. Derek Shaw could knock out Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker knock Derek Shaw out. Remember Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez, the 4th fight. No one wanted to see that. And that became into one of the most legendary fights ever. I think people sometimes are boxing, they think they're experts, they overthink things. What Kiko Martinez done, it showed that in boxing, anything could happen. And also with the young American girl, Alicia, coming over and doing that Terry Harper. Terry Harper was on the slide anyway, but she finished her off in tackle efficient. And you know and we got the rise of Jaime Munguia. I think we have like a good couple of years. I want to see what Kiko does next. You know what I mean? He's been a war horse. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good for boxing, bro. I was thinking Gary Russell Jr. must be looking like, yo, man, I whooped that guy's ass the other day. Gary Russell must be on the phone. You know how many people on the phone saying they want a rematch, bro? Yo, Kiko, what's up, bro? Yo, you want a rematch?
Yeah, he's got a belt now, so let me fight you for that belt. You fight for my belt.
yeah. Everyone's pushing in. I think Leon Santa Cruz is like, yo, come on, man, let's fight, bro. I'll bring a crowd because wherever you bring, Kiko gonna look for the biggest payday. And you know what I mean, the biggest bid to sell the belt down, you know what I mean? But he gonna give a fight, but he gonna hand the belt. Kiko ain't holding on to that belt, man.
Nah, he ain't holding on to that belt. I know, I agree with you on that. He's gonna lose it on his first defense. We know that's gonna happen.
He just needs to get paid worthwhile. That's like Charles Martin. Like he knew Charles Martin was gonna lose. It's like, how much you offering? Oh yeah, you offering $5 million? I am coming to the UK. Let's go. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all knew he was just trying to sell that belt, man. That's why I'm mad at Wilder and Al Heyman for not trying to set up that unification bout. I mean, I know, to be fair, they had to go through the Povetkin fight, so that's probably why they couldn't do it. But still, though, I felt maybe they could have used some type of maneuver, but it is what it is. You know, you have to go through the Povetkin fight. That's why they couldn't get that fight. But anyways, Charles Martin sold that belt because he was shopping around trying to go take it to the highest bidder. He took it to Joseph Parker. They weren't offering the money that he was looking for. Then Joshua came along and said, "Yeah, we'll get."
Wilder won't offer him shit. Wilder never put no purse. Wilder should have.
Well, they could.
Wilder should have got that 50 mil. He should have got that 50 mil that he was trying to give to AJ, and then AJ would have never got in there. If he had 50 mil, he should have found it then. Should have gave that money.
Yeah, but the problem with that, as I said, they had the WBC ordered them to fight Povetkin. They couldn't get out of that fight. So
who's that? Okay,
yeah. They could get out the fight. What I'm arguing is that maybe they could have found something, but the problem is the reason why they had to go.
But he should have paid him. He should have paid him step aside. He should have paid him.
The problem is that Povetkin put that fight off for 2 or 3 times already, so there weren't going to be no more step aside.
Fair enough. So hey, my man said Josh Warrington might be next with Kiko next. I think they could do some money with that. I think because that was Josh Warrington's belt, and they're gonna push away. Hey, you know what? Why didn't they give the fight to Mauricio Lara, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say that Warrington needs to right that wrong for Lara, man. He should be stepping in there to get a fucking title shot like that, man.
Are you swearing again? Nah, man. Nah. That's the thing. Where they're oxy, he's saying he should. No, but in terms of selling tickets and making money, Kiko, Warrington's gonna sell a lot of tickets. Kiko will get paid because remember it's the highest bidder. But I think Mauricio Lara should get a shot against Kiko. I think that would be an outstanding fight between them two. Kiko Martinez versus Mauricio Lara. I think that the Spaniard versus the Mexican. That's that's box office right there. I don't mind seeing that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense financially, but I don't know. I mean, Mauricio Lara definitely. He deserves a shot at the title at least, but Warrington, okay, I guess why you would want to give him the shot because he's the bigger draw. He makes a lot of money. He brings in the revenue, especially in lead. So I get that part, but I mean, pretty much at this point, to your point, it is kind of like who's the highest bidder for Martinez to give up that belt.
Yeah. Boxing ain't about like at this level when it's money. It's like. Lara will be stylistically a great fight for us to watch, but who's gonna put the most money in his pocket? You know what I mean? How much you gonna give me to make you come over and defend the belt? Because really and truly, when you win the belt, you got a year to defend it, right? So in the meantime, you need to make money, some voluntary. So and these voluntaries, who wants it, because Kiko know he's gonna lose that joint. He's celebrating, campaigning right now, champagning, so he overweight in that. But they're talking about that Leatham Woods is with Eddie Hearn. That's a unification bout. They could do that. Leatham could celebrate a couple of tickets. Then you got Josh Warrington. Yeah, that was his belt initially. You know what I mean? And then is Gary Russell Jr. and Al Heyman, are they up? Are they gonna say anything? You know what I'm saying? They gonna put a purse, but they gonna put a bid in. You know what I mean? Because I tell you what, you offer Kiko 10 near to 5 mil. He's on that. He's on the plane coming over straight away. He's like, yo, 5 mil? Yeah, I'm coming. He'll give the belt over handily, bro. He'll give you a good fight though. Kid Gatland, I think he's done, man. I think he's shot. I think he's done. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go far to say that. Yeah, this is his only loss, but I guess I would say the weight cut was a problem for him. I think he's going to have to move up in weight. That way, he'd be more sturdy.
He lost against Josh Warrington before on points.
Yeah,
close.
I mean, well, that's true. That's true. And what I meant by this is his first time ever been knocked out. Never been put down by anybody. Mm-hmm. So he was still within his prime. It's just that I think the weight cut was the issue. He can't make that weight anymore, so he's going to have to move up. But let me see. I know Ayob says that I like Eddie, but these rematch clauses are getting ridiculous. I mean, look. To be fair, it is a voluntary defense, so I can understand why the rematch clause was inserted. But the problem is that, to your point, though, is that the Eddie be putting in these rematch clauses for mandatory fights. That is an issue. You shouldn't be doing that. But I guess from one instance, you're looking at it from another point of view. Say, hey, look, Joshua's defending his other belts too. So why not put the rematch clause in there? I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's still a mandatory fight. There should be no rematches for mandatory fights, like Alexander Usyk. So I kind of get what you're saying, Ayob. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, but go ahead.
I think the Ring Magazine needs to update their ranking and stop messing around. How they keep putting Gary Russell Jr. Everyone's took him out their ranking because he's inactive. Well, bruh, I'll tell you like this. There's other fighters in boxing who have been inactive. They fight like Triple G. He's bloody been active. Where's he been? He's been ghost. Like,
yeah, it's true. He's been active since when? When's the last time he fought? Did he fight earlier this year?
Yeah, and they didn't take him out the rankings. So why they picking on Gary Russell Jr.? You know why? Because with Al Heyman, they talking that reckless shit. But no, Hopkins is slap Dougie Fresh Fisher around the back of the head. That's what he needs to do.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure. Is Dougie Fisher the one who handles the ranking system? Ranking criteria? Yeah. Well, it's funny though because
Montero, him and Michael Montero and that bullshit.
Oh, they both doing it. Well, you know what? I met Dougie Fisher. He's a cool guy. But to your point, though, you are right, though. If you're going to take out Gary Russell for being inactive, you should do the same thing for Gennady Golovkin. The same thing. Mm-hmm. And we all know that Dougie Fisher and Montero are big Golovkin fans. We know that.
100%. So I'm looking at the rankings. They got Manuel Narati, whatever. He's like number one. Kid Galahad, they haven't updated it. Kid Galahad's number two. Mauricio Lara should be number one. Like, how you got this Manuel Narati? He's
got a belt. That's why he's a champion.
Mauricio Lara beat the guy who they claimed was number one. They said he was the best guy. He had the Ring Magazine belt and everything. Mauricio Lara beat him. So why Mauricio Lara not number one? He should be number one, bro.
Well, Josh Warrington never had the ring belt, so there's no ring champion there. Nah, there isn't. Yeah, but I would say though,
they had him they unanimously had him number one because he beat Kid Ladland, he beat Frampton, and you know what I mean. He was looking the business, and he
beat Lee Selby too. Yeah, so Warrington Warrington had a pretty decent resume. Good resume to be at number one. So I can understand why they rate him there.
Yeah, so if he's number one and the guy knocks you off, then you should be number one. Like, why are you just making up rankings as we go along? What's going on here? I never heard of this Manuel Narati. And you see, Mauricio Lara is still there. That's my guy. Him and Kiko needs to get it on in a pay-per-view fight for the ages. I told Eddie, I said, Eddie, yo, make that fight. Give them whatever money you want. You know they ain't gonna budge. They're gonna be right in front of each other, bruv. Kiko Martinez, that's box office. Kiko Martinez versus Mauricio Lara. Make it happen. You know.
Well, the one I want to see is Mauricio Lara versus Emmanuel Navarrete. That is gonna be a war.
You think so?
Yeah. You never seen Emmanuel Navarrete fight, dude? This dude is a monster, man. I mean, He is a monster. He's pretty
Hey,
tall
man,
and big to be at 130, but I mean, he initially is a super bantamweight, but still, though.
Is that the guy? Hold on, is that the guy who beat no? That's the one.
Isaac Dobby, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the he's with Bob Arum, right? Okay,
Yeah.
he's good. Yeah, he's good. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay. But hold on. But when he beat, okay, yeah, Dogba was supposed to be the guy. I guess so. He's number one. Okay.
Yeah, he blasted Dogba. He destroyed him twice.
It's a good division. It's a good division then. It's a good division right there.
Yeah.
Good.
He recently beat Joet Gonzalez, the same guy that he beat the crap out of Gonzalez. Bronson Gonzalez, he stood, he tried to fight him toe to toe, put pressure on Navarrete, but he was taking a lot of damage in that fight. And this is the same guy that fought Shakur Stevenson. So, but yeah, I mean, Navarrete versus Lara, that is going to be a war. I think that's a fight I would love. I would enjoy watching that fight.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, boy, that's good. Boxing's looking good. What we got coming? Let me see what we got coming this weekend. Hey, man, Canelo Alvarez one-sided beat down on thingy. I watched that fight, man. That was boring as hell. That he was weak. I don't know. Caleb looks so weak. I don't know what his girlfriend's giving him to eat. That guy needs some hard soul food, bro. I don't know what she giving him. Whatever food she giving him ain't strength for them.
Well, you forgot about one more fight that happened last night. David Benavidez versus Kyron Davis.
Ain't no one care about that fight, man. That's why I even mentioned it. It was so one-sided. It wasn't worth talking about, man. The epic fights we talked about, like Benavidez, and you knew he was gonna call out Canelo and call out, Charlo, and it's like, yeah. You're fighting a walkover, bro. Ain't no one care about that joint, man.
Well, to be fair, though, it's not as he was supposed to fight Jose Uzcategui. That was supposed to be the fight that we wanted to watch, but Uzcategui got popped for a banned substance. So, they had to get Kyron Davis in. He came in as a 2-week notice, and I mean, Davis did fight the best way he could, but you could tell that he's a naturally small guy, and his power wasn't, is not effective at super middleweight. So,
but
anyhow,
on Wednesday we got Tim Zoo's back again versus Tadashi Inoue. I don't know if that's Inoue's brother. I don't know because they got the same.
Yeah, that is Inoue's brother. Yeah.
Which one is his older brother? Right, middleweight, light middle.
Light middleweight, yeah. He looks big to be a light middleweight anyway. He needs to be at 160.
He ain't winning shit, man.
I know, but he's not a great fighter. I guess it's a decent test.
He's lost one fight already. He lost to Jaime
Munguia. Yeah, Munguia. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. To be fair, Tim Tszyu, that is a pretty good test for a world level fight. So okay, yeah. But Tim Tszyu is the number 1 rated challenger for the WBO title. Jamel Charlo has that title. So I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, the WBO is gonna mandate that fight soon.
Hopefully, but WBO pretty good with that ranking. At least they ain't split their belts up. They got one belt. That's why they're credible. They don't split their belts up. And then we got what's it? Ronnie Rios versus this Magdalena. I don't know who this guy is. They're fighting for IBF and WBA. I ain't never heard of this guy though. Who's this guy at junior featherweight? I can't know this name. I don't know what this guy's name is.
Diego Magdaleno, right, or Jesse?
No, it's not him. It's not him. He's got some Russian name out here. I don't want to see. Let's go 1 second. Where's he from? Yeah, he's from Uzbekistan. Well, I don't know where bantamweight. They're fighting at super bantamweight. When did this guy get? Oh, they're fighting interim. The IBF. Yeah, they're fighting for 2 belts. This guy. Okay, this guy picked the belts up from Daniel Roman on split decision. So he's under the radar really. So he's supposed to. Oh, Ronnie Rios is not fighting him no more. They've got someone. They've got Jose Vasquez. So okay, that's not happening. Ronnie Rios is out. That's in Manchester, England, the zone. Shit, that ain't
Sean
happening.
Porter and Terence Crawford is next weekend, isn't it not?
Oh, you 100%. I'm talking about Friday right now. I got Jose Martinez. See, Julio says that Martinez is going against William Arroyo. That's gonna be a good fight.
Oh, that's gonna be a damn good fight. Superfly.
Yeah, Demetrius Andrade versus Jason Quigley, and got Carlos Reed versus Jesse Cameron. I don't care about that shit right there. That's it. That's on Friday, and then Terrence Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter, Marco Antonio Barrera. Oh, he's fighting in Mexico versus Daniel Ponce de Leon. They're fighting on probably a sparring match, 6-round spar. But
so that's Crawford, an exhibition bout, right?
Yeah. But Bud Crawford, I got Porter upsetting Crawford by stoppage, man. What are you saying, man?
Porter definitely has has the tools to win, but I think Terrence is just more craftier, and it takes him a good round or two for him to figure out how your fighting style and what angles you're going to throw the punches. He's very good at adapting very quickly in fights. So this is not going to be an easy fight for Terrence. If he does make it look easy, I'll be super depressed, especially that he hasn't been quite active for a while. So, to be fair, both fighters haven't been really active long, been quite active. So, I expect Crawford to win on decision. I don't see a knockout happening. I just don't see it. I could be wrong, but if Terrence able to stop Sean Porter, I'll be very impressed. Impressed.
Hell no, ain't. My man's got a question for you. I don't know if it's me or you actually. How is Benavidez making Jamal look scared, sir?
Me?
Yeah. Was it you or me? I don't know.
Let me just say this. Well, Jamal has been playing diva shit, and I'm very disappointed. At first he wants to fight, and then he's telling Benavidez he needs to go down to 160, which we know that's not going to happen. So, catch weight, I don't see that happening either because Benavidez is too big to be at 168. He can barely make the weight. So I don't know what Jamal is talking about. Jamal is just being a hothead as of late. This dude got so mad he was at the Canelo fight, right? The Canelo Plant fight. A fan asked him a question. It's a very professional, legitimate question. What do you think about Canelo's performance and how dangerous do you think he is? Jamal got mad and gave him a middle finger and then slapped his camera phone nearly out of his hand because he didn't like the question. And I'm looking at this dude as like, dude, do you want to get another legal case? I mean, a dude asks you a simple question about Canelo, a potential fight with him, and you get pissed off. I don't know, man. I think this dude is just, because he hasn't looked great in his, against subpar opponents. We all know that his last fight, he looked pretty bad. So, I don't know, man. I mean,
who did he face? The Argentinian guy, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a walkover fight.
That guy's good. Why, man? That guy was a champion. Why would he be a walkover, Dan?
No, he was never a champion. What are you talking about?
Are you talking about Thingy's brother, Montiel's brother?
Yeah, Montiel. Yeah,
that guy was good. Don't be hating. No, that guy was good, man. Come on, Dan.
Yeah, he was decent, but I didn't say he was supposed to be a walkover for Charlo. That's the reason why they took that fight. Charlo had a tough time with him, and that's why people are giving Charlo a lot of slack for that performance. But then again, here he is calling out guys, and then when the guys respond to his challenge, he wants them to fight on certain conditions, and that's not going to happen. So, like Benavidez, you're telling Benavidez to go down to 160. He struggles to make 168. So why are you telling him to go down to 160? I don't get it. I think he's upset now because me personally, this is my thoughts, man. He's probably mad now because the Canelo fight's being talked about. He's being pressured. He's more likely being pressured to take that fight. He probably doesn't really want it. And the fact that his brother even outed him and said that, he ducked that fight.
Yeah.
So he's not happy to hear that he's being pressured to fight Canelo Alvarez, knowing that he knows he's not going to win it. So I think that's his problem right now. So is he scared of David Benavidez? I won't go far to say that, but I just think that he won't fight him at 168. I think that's his issue.
Yeah, but Charlo seemed to me one of them bears there, like one of them guys who just talk a lot. But when you ask them real questions, they very, very immature. You know what I mean? Like real talk, a man wouldn't do that. Slap a man's camera. That's immaturity because you're nervous. Like I remember when people start Mayweather Pacquiao, who used to act real funny. It's like when you ask Joshua about Wilder. It's like all of a sudden he has a meltdown and shit. It's like, yo, what's wrong with you? I just ask you a question. It's like, but it's like he get a heart attack or something like that to talk about that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually, so I don't know what to say. I think to me the Charlo brothers like a lot of hot air Americans run them out. To us in the UK, use big mouth Americans. That's all he is. But like they ain't like Andre Ward. Andre Ward was a night quiet assassin.
I mean, polite. Here's the thing. At first I said Jamal was probably the I would say the least, probably the most mature out of that between him and his brother. I mean, I guess I'm wrong now. Just the way he's been behaving lately, you know what I mean? But I mean, Jamel, he's always been a hardhead. You saw what happened that night when he got slapped in the face by Jared Hurd.
Jared Hurd. Oh yeah, I did. That was because he was just talking reckless again, innit?
Yeah, he was talking about his wife, and Jarrett Hurd wasn't going to stand there for that. He slapped him in the face. You know what I mean?
Wow, really?
Yeah. Obviously, this is the thing too, because Deontay, you know how he talks shit about Deontay Wilder, and Deontay, is like, "Fuck that, dude. When I see you, I'm gonna slap your ass, right?" And how did Jamel respond to that? He said, "I got homies who got guns, this, that, and the third." I'm like, "Oh, okay. So you're gonna bring your homies in this? Fight your own battles, dog. You talk shit about the man who said nothing to you." And then when he responds by saying, "When I see you, I'm gonna slap you in the face," and then you want us to respond by saying, "I'm gonna get the homies." Oh, okay. Okay, I see how that works.
Yeah, you know how that is. You know how but that just shows you what his mindset is, isn't it? That's real weak, man. That's real weak. That's real weak right there. Like, if you, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my boys. It's like, you supposed to be a boxer. Where's your hands at?
Yeah, where's your hands at? Why don't you fight your own battles, bro? Why you got to get your boys involved? Why? Because you're afraid of a heavyweight. A heavyweight you talking shit about for the longest, and then when he responds to you, it says that, when I see you, I'm gonna slap you, or you deserve to be slapped. You want to talk about you got guns? All right, okay, I got the homies, or whatever.
Yeah. I saw him act that way when what's his name again? Who's the guy? The guy with Danny Jacobs rolled up to him. He was talking reckless. When Danny Jacobs rolled up to him, he was quiet as a mouse, bro.
You talking about Jamal, not Jamel.
Whichever one of them boys they were talking reckless, and when he came up, he quiet, he didn't say shit.
Yeah, I heard. I saw that video too.
Yeah, that's so they consistently like big mouth loud if they think they can get away with it. But if they think you can roll up on them, they ain't about it, man. They ain't about it. Like I just look at some of them boys there like that, and I don't think that they've accomplished a lot, bro. They accomplished a lot. They're both champions. That's something that you ain't seen recently.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the Ring Magazine, ESPN is not even covering the fact that two twin brothers from Texas are two world champions from America. It's a disgrace. This is a disgrace in boxing. If that was in the UK, they'll win everything. They'll be on pages, everything. If they were the Klitschko's, they'll be everywhere. You got two twin brothers who are world champions unifying, want to be undisputed and everything. And for whatever reason, the media has completely blacked them out. Like they don't exist. Like no one even knows about. Like they're in a lucrative division, the middleweight 154 pounders. And because of the discrepancy with certain people, they've completely blocked them out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Look, I mean, despite what you say about them, they are terrific fighters, yes, but I just don't like the way they behave. I mean, they've been like this for a while, but they're behaving, they're acting all reckless out here, man. I mean, Jamel, for him talking shit about the fighters, like I said, going back to Deontay Wilder, back it up. If you feel the man ain't shit and he responds to you, then you're going to act like, oh, I'm going to get the homies all of a sudden. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that, bro. You're supposed to be the fighter, all right? Stand by what you say. Stand by your words, man. Don't hide behind your homies and act out like that. Don't do that. Now, Stanley Hudson, shout out to Stanley Hudson. He says that, Mr. Dan, why should Charlo move up? Triple G didn't move up, so stop being biased. Well, first of all, let me try to dissect that question the best way I can. I said Triple G should move up because he's the one that went out and said, I'll fight anybody between 154 and up to 175. He tried to go up to 175 and fight Carl Froch, or Carl Froch at the catch. Well, he tried to go to 168, fight Carl Froch and Chavez Jr. Obviously, Froch said, okay, I'll fight you, but I can't fight at 168 anymore. I can fight you at catchweight 172. Triple G didn't want it. Okay, this is what him and his team were saying. They said they could even fight Adonis Stevenson, or they could, less than they didn't want the Adonis Stevenson fight. They all of a sudden wanted to fight Miguel Kessler when he was at the end of his career. Okay. All right. So I said that Triple G should move up because this is what he said. He said, I'll fight anybody at 175, 168, and 160, 154. That's what he said. As far as Charlo's concerned, Charles never said that. All Charles said is that I'll fight Benavidez, but he's got to come down to 160. And when I'm sitting, to be fair, I'm like, well, okay, wait a minute. Why are you trying to call out a man he can't make 160, but you want him to come down? Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. So it's not the bias on my end. I really don't understand the premise of your question. So I did say Triple G should move up. Not saying that look, if a fighter doesn't move up, that doesn't mean they're not a great fighter. I mean, Marvin Hagler never moved up in weight, but he's one of the greatest middleweights of all time. I get that part, that notion. But my thing is that if you're going to call another fighter in a different weight class, especially a weight class above you, then you shouldn't tell that fighter to come down. I don't like that. I don't like that at all because that's exactly the same game that Triple G team try to play with these other fighters above their weight classes like Andre Ward, where they try to tell him that to come down to 164. No fight, come down to catch weight or no fight at all. You don't do that. You don't talk about, calling out bigger guys and also you want them to fight at catch weight. Don't do that. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, we've covered quite a lot, man. You guys, my man Stanley, what are you saying, Stan, the man? What you saying? I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. I would body slam Charlo. Yeah, but that's wrestling. That's wrestling. Yeah, man.
Aobs was like, Aobs was agreeing. He's like, look, if Charles going to call up a bigger man, he needs to go up to his weight class and beat him. I totally agree with that. You got to do that. Don't be calling him out and then also you want to tell him to come down to weight. Nah, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You trying to fucking weaken the fighter knowing he can't make the weight. Nah, forget that, man. I didn't like it when Mayweather did it with Corrales. I didn't like that when Pacquiao did it to other guys.
Hold up, Mayweather did it to who? Why are you talking?
Diego Corrales. Yes, he did. He did do that to the.
Talk your piece. I'm
just saying. I still give him credit for the win. I'm just saying.
I'll tell you why he didn't then. Because Mayweather fought Manuel Burton at the time, right? He went up to lightweight and then he came down to super feather to fight Diego Corrales. How about them apples?
Come on, you can't. Come on, EJ. First of all, wait. That was a one-off fight. Wait, first of all, that was a one-off fight. Floyd was the lineal super featherweight champion. That was his weight class. Okay. Hold up. That was a one-off fight. And all of a sudden, when you call out Corrales, and then all of a sudden you tell Corrales he got to come down to 130. No, he can't make that weight anymore. But Corrales did it anyway because he needed the big money fight. I get it. But the fact is that it is what it is, man. That's exactly what Floyd told him. You got to come down to 130, man. Come on, dude.
All right, you said your piece. I'm gonna say my piece. And let's talk facts. Yeah, the fact of the matter is, right? Yeah. Floyd Mayweather went up to 135, right, and fought Manuel Burton in a hard fight, one of the hardest fights of his career, right? Hardest fight of his career. Then he went back down to defend his title at super feather, and then they said, "Do you want to fight him, Corrales?" Corrales never actually fought. So Corrales never actually fought at lightweight. He said, I'm vacating my belt. I'm looking at you up. So he vacated his belt, but he never actually went up. But Mayweather actually went up to 135. So what I'm saying is that even if Mayweather caught him at 135 or he caught him at 130, Mayweather would have whooped his ass either way. It didn't matter. Corrales didn't actually go up officially, but Mayweather did. You know what I'm saying? So
no, Corrales did go up to 135. He was fighting there before he took the Mayweather fight. What are you talking about?
Brad, I can pull it up on Box Rec, bro.
Go ahead, pull it up.
Pull it up. I'm going to show you, Dan, because I already know this already. Because I remember what they did. This is when I realized, that Bob Arum had something in with Mayweather that he was telling these commentators to go at Mayweather and discredit him because when Mayweather left him, he said, "You ain't going nowhere, kid. I'm gonna ruin your career." But the Mayweather said, "Do what you want." And that's how that thing went down. We're gonna pull it up to show everyone as well. Because and this is how I started to realize that Bob Arum is a wicked piece because he tried to do it to Terrence Crawford, and you saw him trying to do it to Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? But he can't do it no more because he's too old in the game, and that shit don't work no more. You can't be discrediting guys all of a sudden, and because they don't want to, they leave your promotion. But that's what they used to do back then. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, right? Okay. All right, so I'll have the weights, right? I'll show you officially. We're gonna put it on the screen so for Dan the man to see what's going on. So EJ ain't going around.
As soon as I mentioned that, I knew this was gonna turn. This conversation was gonna turn.
Hey, bro, like bro, I was waiting for someone to bring that up. All right, you got the screen? I'm gonna zoom in as well. I'm gonna zoom in right now. Zoom in. Let me zoom in. All right, we're zooming. All right. So let's look at this, right? So Floyd Mayweather, you watching this right here?
Yeah.
Look at this. What do you see here? You see Floyd Mayweather fought Goyo Vargas. Then he moved up to lightweight. Look at this, 134, right?
So Manuel Burton. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's 135. Then what? Look at this, Dan. Came back down to what? That was at 130. By the way, that was at 135. Like Manuel Augustus.
As I told you, that was a one-off fight. Floyd was already a super featherweight champion. At the time, 135 is not his natural weight. Corrales hadn't fought at 130 in a very long time.
Dan,
hold on. He ain't fought there in a long time. So for that fight to happen,
Floyd told the crowds, "You got to come down to 130." That's exactly what happened.
Dan, I'm gonna show you. Dan, this is where you don't listen. I just told you, Floyd Mayweather was the champion at 130. Look here, WBC champion. He fought a voluntary. Look, there's no belt here. A voluntary at lightweight to get him again one of the hardest fights of his career. 9th round stoppage. He got busted up. Now let's go to Corrales. We're going to Corrales, right, to show you what I'm talking about, right? So you understand. When I say he didn't actually go up, right? He vacated the belt, but he didn't go up. So his last fight, look at this here. Look at this. What do you see here, Dan? 130. Look at this, Dan. What do you see? 130. Look when he fought him, Dan. He fought him in September, right? September, Adrian Manfredi, right? Then he fought Floyd Mayweather in January. So how many months is that, Dan? How many months is that? So you're trying to say from this month, well, he didn't go up. He didn't actually go up. That came from the bias and the bullshit from Larry Merchant. When I realized this, I said, these guys are trying to ruin this guy's career.
All right, you got me there.
Yeah, you see, right there, you can see the man didn't even actually go up. So how he vacated the belt? Okay, cool, right? And you was thinking of going up, but then they said, look, we're gonna fight, but he didn't actually go up. But Floyd actually did. He actually did go up the weight. So what's going on there? And a hard fight with Manny. But this is what I'm trying to say to you, bro. And this is the propaganda that's been going on for years, and they've been trying to ruin that man's career for the longest. It's crazy. It's crazy how people I should have made the screen bigger actually, so you guys can see actually.
All right. So officially, I'll pull Mayweather away from the argument.
Yeah, at least you know because you have to see it when you see it for your own eyes, yeah. And because you're like me, right? Most people, when anyone's talking about Floyd Mayweather, we're going off what more people say, but we kind of like just don't check it, and it's like okay, so Mayweather, and this is why Bob Arum was doing this, right? And he did it to a lot of fighters. When you leave me, he tries to destroy them, and he's trying to do it to Terence Crawford. And look at here, he tried to, and with the media behind them, they can do stuff like that. He look at it, he didn't have look at it. Mayweather going up in a bloody life and death battle with Manuel, and the reason why they did that to him is to get him ready to. Who's that? Go hold on me. 1 minute, then I'll play back a second.
Yeah.
Yo. Hello. Yeah. 1 sec. Where you at? You outside? Hello. You outside? Yeah. All right. Dan, keep talking for a minute.
Yeah? All right. I'll keep talking. All right. While EJ is on the phone handling whatever business he's handling. Yeah, man. I was going to point out that this is definitely not a good year at all for Matchroom or PBC. So they've had a horrific year so far. Not to discredit the fact that they put on good fights or came together with other promotions to make good fights, put their fighters against the other tough, stiff oppositions. But the fact is that their marquee fighters has been taking a lot of L's. It started this year. I would say. Let me see. I mean, I don't want to say start the year, but I could say it's like the marquee fighters are Anthony Joshua going down against Alexander Usyk, Deontay Wilder going down against Tyson Fury in the third fight. Recently, Caleb Plant going down against Canelo Alvarez, and then yesterday, Kiko Martinez taking out Kid Galahad in a very impressive fashion, shocking fashion, and Terry Harper going down against Alicia Baumgartner. So. This is, Matchroom and the PBC. I know they got I would say, in my opinion, one marquee fight left, before the year ends. That's Joshua Buatsi against Maxim Flashcloth and Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. So Porter and Buatsi is definitely going to have to win their fights to kind of bring back the momentum, with PBC and Matchroom. So. Yeah, I think, this is – they're going to have to regroup, man. They're going to have to regroup very hard. And also, I would say, though, Matchroom is not only taking L's in the ring, but they've lost some of their marquee fighters, too, to Box or Skybox. I mean, Sky Sports. That's definitely hurt them. And the fact that they don't have the outreach like they did with Sky because the Zone doesn't have that type of outreach, that's also hurt them, too, when it came to, attendance for their fights. Or promoting their fights. So it's been a tough year, man. Tough year. So not to say this has been a bad year for boxing. This has been a pretty good year, but PBC and Matchroom, they really need to regroup. They got to get it together. Their fighters got to step up and and deliver in these marquee fights. So that's my spill on it, man. So Benavidez. I know a lot of people didn't really pay attention to that fight, but it was a good performance. But the thing is, he took the fight on, against a natural 154-pound guy. I get that. Speaking of, you're back. Cool.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say talking about that matchroom thing again. But I think boxing realized with the YouTubers trying to take headway into the sport, I think people realize if they don't get together, trying to get together, these guys are gonna take over the sport. Now let's go back to Bob Arum, Lion Ash. Yeah, because I ain't done with him. He caused that kind of. Mayweather was supposed to be the golden boy, right?
Right.
He was supposed to be the Olympian, clean cut. And Bob Arum was like, you don't do what I want to say? Okay, I'm going to fuck you. And it's stuff like that in the propaganda. Even though he promoted him, he was still tearing him behind his back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what you were saying about he drained him and stuff like Corella, it was none of the case. Corrales was never going to beat Mayweather. I'll tell you why, right?
I believe that. I believe that. You're right.
You know why? Because when Corrales fought the Cuban guy, what's his name again? Casimir, was it
Javier Casimir?
No, Joe
Casimir.
Yeah, when he fought him, bruh, he was getting the same thing. He was getting the same treatment.
Yeah,
he was getting the same treatment. That was that was a higher weight. That was actually that was at super feather still. Actually, he was getting that same treatment. So he struggles against boxers in general. He needs someone in front of him. You know what I mean? But that's what I thought to myself. I said, this is what these people do to tear down other fighters, and you can see what was happening with the Charlos. It's apparent that there's a blackball on the Charlos because they're with Al Heyman. It's simple. You can see it.
Okay, fair enough. So
that's why the Charlos got to make all that noise and do what they got to do and yelling and screaming, because the main media don't want to cover them, and also with Clarissa Shields is the same thing. If she's in America, I don't get no attention. She has to come do MMA. She has to come fight in UK just to get attention because no one in America cares about her.
Well, she burnt a lot of bridges with a lot of networks in the US, so that's pretty much her part. I'll say part of that is in her own doing. So
okay, let's talk about burnt bridges. Yeah. How many times? Yeah. As Conor McGregor, okay, scratch that. How many times as Canelo Alvarez took drugs and done all kinds of things and got away with it?
Well, I guess that's a bit of a point there, but I never heard of Canelo burning bridges with a network.
He was trying to do that with the zone until Eddie sorted it out, right?
Yeah, that was one network. The zone doesn't really have that much of a big, they don't have that much clout over here in the United States, so I'm not sure if we count that. But
it's difficult for men than it is for women. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There is a bit of a double standard.
What about Billy Joe? What about Billy Joe Saunders? How many times did he
there's definitely a standard there. This motherfucker's burnt brick. This guy's just he's like a guy who's lost a lot of promoters' money. Frank Warren. Yeah. At one point, Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn couldn't wait to get rid of Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah,
couldn't wait to get rid of him. He was just a pain in the ass to deal with, man. It's like Jesus Christ. You wonder why he keeps going out of fights. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And me personally, I'm glad he got that ass whooping that he got from Canelo, man. I was glad.
I was glad Eddie set him up, because Frank wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Frank liked Billy Joe Saunders, but with Frank, he kept letting Frank down on shows. Well, every time Frank had a show, Billy would pull out on the last minute. Cost Frank whole heap of money. So Frank said, you know what? Go to Eddie Hearn. I can't deal with you. And that's what he caused Eddie so much money on I think he was for Martin Murray a couple of times.
Yeah.
This guy a couple of times. He pulled out who's the main event. That Frank got rid of him. And that's what he was called. And Eddie said, no, you're not going to do it to me. You're going to give me my money that I invested in you when I signed you. I'm getting it back and you're going to get paid and you can get the hell out of here. That's what he said.
Exactly. You ain't going to pull out this fight this time around. You're not pulling out or you're not going to push it back on me because I got too much money on this. We got 50,000 plus fans in attendance who already bought tickets. You ain't pulling out. I don't give a fuck if you're sick or not. You gonna get in your ass in there, whether you win or not. I'm gonna get my money back. That's all I gotta say.
You think Anthony Joshua's done still?
No, No, I'm not gonna say that. I mean, the heavyweights got more miles on their clock. They can, it's proven over the years that we see many heavyweights we thought they were washed and or shot out of their prime, and they come back and they reemerge, like Evander Holyfield, for example. We've seen it with the Muhammad Ali for years. We thought people back then thought he was shot when he fought George Foreman. Look what he was able to do. So, we've seen this many times before with the heavyweight. So I'm not gonna say Anthony Joshua's through yet. I think he could come back. I just don't think he could beat Usyk. But I think he can come back and reemerge and beat all the other heavyweights. I don't think he could beat Usyk or Wilder. That's all I can say. Or Tyson Fury. I don't think he could beat those three guys. But I think, but you know what? Hell, I'm not sure he could beat Joe Joyce. I'm not sure if
Really?
I mean, that'd be a more winnable fight for him, but can he keep up with his cardio? That's the problem. Because we know Joe Joyce got a very good cardio. Very good cardio, Joe Joyce.
I talked to his mom. He said they sparred many times, man.
Yeah, and I heard Joe Joyce was busting him up quite a lot.
Man, people be lying everywhere about Andy Josh. They be lying. I don't know about. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man, because a lot of people have been doing that. Daniel Dubois did it. I mean, freaking, who else done it? I mean, a lot of people have been bust up AJ and sparring. A lot of people. I mean, look, that doesn't make him a bad fighter. He's improved over time, but then again, that's still that Achilles heel there. The confidence, worried about getting hit. That's what's always been back in Joshua's mind. And speaking of Anthony Joshua, have you seen his latest latest heading on his Instagram page?
Tell me about what?
Yeah. He changed it to throwback fighter with a brain emoji. I don't know what that's all about.
I think he's trying to say that he's trying to say that I need to be one of them beasts back in the days and throwback mentality. Don't worry about anything. Just go into war.
All right, fair enough. But you can try to do that with Alexander Usyk. Oh yeah, David Price knocked him out in sparring. So forgot about him. The chinny David Price.
So they say, but David Price beat Tyson Fury in the amateur as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, it is true because even Anthony Joshua admitted that David Price knocked him out.
Yeah, but Anthony Joshua probably knocked him out, but he hadn't to say he ain't gonna say it though, is he?
I don't know, man. Joshua's just too much of a respectful guy. That's just the way it is. Yeah. But I don't. He could still compete at heavyweight. I don't think he's quite done. It's just that I just don't see him beating all the other heavyweights. Yeah, say what you will about Deontay Wilder. Yes, he took the beating from Tyson Fury, but if you look at it from a stylistic matchup, I think that's a fight that Wilder will win. Because Wilder is taller than AJ, he's longer than AJ, he's faster than AJ. So, and AJ, I mean, to be fair though, it is a fight that whoever lands first. You know what I mean? So, I think that's more winnable fight for Wilder, and he is the bigger man in that fight. So I just think that AJ, I don't see AJ winning that fight. I don't see him. Definitely don't beat Usyk. Tyson Fury, no. I think that is a winnable fight for AJ, but I still don't think he'll beat him. Joe Joyce, like I said, he can win on he definitely can win on points, but he's not knocking out Joyce. But the thing is, can he keep up with his cardio to beat Joyce? That's the key right there. So I'm not going to say he's done.
You think Alexander Usyk right now is the best heavyweight in the world?
Yeah. Right. Well, no. On paper, Tyson Fury is.
No. Well, I don't care about paper. What do you think? You think Alexander is the man?
Well, I mean, it's arguable that Usyk's got the. Well, you could say Tyson Fury is. Look, say what you will. The Klitschko win still stands out. I know 6 years ago, but he was the guy who was able to throw him, take his titles away. You know what I mean? To throw him. So that still is on it. Tyson Fury still deserves credit for that.
No, and man, Joshua had a better performance, man.
No, he didn't. Stop it. How many times? Joshua nearly got knocked out, man. How many times are you going to have to go?
Joshua knocked out Fury. Fury didn't even try and knock him out. Fury could.
Don't matter. Fury humiliated Klitschko and didn't even give him a chance to throw, land any shots in the fight. He humiliated him in his backyard. He did it in his backyard. He humiliated the guy.
No, I don't hear that bullshit. How do you score it? I only had Fury by 2 rounds, man. What you talking about?
Really? I had Fury win that fight by what, 9 rounds to 3. He dominated that fight.
Crazy, man. You crazy. You need to watch that fight again, bro. Don't be silly, man.
I ain't silly. I thought Fury won that fight by a mile. I'm sorry. He won that fight 9 rounds to 3. That's the way I seen it. 8-4 at best, but definitely 9-3.
No way.
But, yeah, hey.
No way. We need to watch that fight again.
All right. Well, anyways, I think Tyson Fury, in my opinion, he is number one because look, he beat Klitschko in his backyard when he was undefeated for over a decade, took his titles away from him, and he beat Wilder, who was also long-reigning champion too, when he was undefeated as well. So he did it twice. So I got to give him that respect and credit in that regard. But does that make him like the most dominated heavyweight in this era? No, it does not. Tyson Fury has now come close to doing that. I've said this on my podcast, on my live stream. He's got a lot more work to do. If he retires now, I can't put him up there as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He doesn't come close to that. Not close. I'm sorry.
But listen, even if he does anything right now, he's still never going to be the greatest because you ain't getting past the guy, Summer Ali. I don't care what he does. So
he'll never be up there. He'll never be up there with Muhammad Ali. He'll never be up there with a Joe Frazier. He will not be up there with Lennox Lewis. He'll never be up there with Mike Tyson.
Only way he can do that, right? Beat Usyk, beat Joshua, defend the belt 15 times with all the belts in it. Then you might reappraise.
Yeah, I mean, even if that's the case, try to defend the belt as much as you can. I mean, if you beat Usyk, you beat Joshua, you beat White. You beat the guys coming up like Frank Sanchez, the Joe Joyces, Daniel Dubois, and who else? Joseph. We know that fight's not going to happen because Joseph Parker said, "I'm not fighting Tyson Fury because that's my brother."
Yeah, what kind of boy? When did he become his brother? That's some bullshit. that guy's a fucking. He come like Malik, bro. Yeah, he ain't got no time for them boys. There, you come to fight. Now all of a sudden he's your friend. You know what I mean? Why is he your friend for? When makes you your friend? You lived in New Zealand. When did you even meet each other?
Yeah, when's he ever been your brother? I mean, Tyson, I'm sure Billy Show said the same thing. And look what Tyson Fury, how he treated him after he lost to Canelo. All right.
Yeah, my man Kai. What's up, Kai Albert? And shout out to Zone 6 as well. He said Fury won't be around long enough for 15 defenses. Nah, I don't think so. But that's
he won't be sticking around yet. Anthony Mackie, a great point. He said that Fury is running out of time to be a GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, even Fury said himself, dude, after that third Wilder fight. And I don't know why people keep being very evasive about this. Fury took a lot of damage in that third Wilder fight. It almost got knocked out, okay? And he said himself that, man, I don't know if I got much left after that fight. He said it himself.
That was a hard fight, bro. It was a hard fight.
Yeah. He said himself that fight slowed him down. He said, dude, it took a lot out of me. And he ain't even talking about Dillian White. This dude's talking about retirement all of a sudden. So... yeah, he ain't got much time left, though. I agree. He ain't got much time. I mean,
he can end his career. He can end if he gonna slap the shit out of Usyk, bro. I'll tell you.
Who, Tyson Fury?
Hell yeah.
Nah. Tyson Fury said himself that I struggle against smaller heavyweights. He ain't going there, Usyk. He said himself we don't want to fight Usyk. He said I'm not fighting that guy.
Yeah, he does, but bro, he'll slap the shit out of him though. If he has to, he'll listen. Fury will throw anything and anything. He'll throw the kitchen sink at that guy.
Yeah, I agree though. He does have more dog than Joshua, for example. Because Fury's the type of guy who's not afraid to get hit. He'll get hit and he'll try to give back. That's what he does. Joshua's not that type of fighter.
Man, you need to stop with that bullshit. Joshua don't care getting hit. Joshua don't mind getting hit.
Come on. All right, well, if that's the case, you need to explain to me why did Joshua say that in his latest interview with Coogan, saying that, look, man, I don't want to leave that ring without no brain cells. I don't want to be blind. I don't want to be, I don't want to be in a position where I can't speak to my family.
Hey, but it's true though. That's true. But
well, that's a mentality of a guy who's worried about getting hit. You don't say that as a fighter. I mean, look, no. Hold up. We all don't want to get hit.
Maver said the same thing. He said, bro, I'm not trying to get in there, get hit. I'm trying to box smart.
Okay, but at the same time, look. See, there's a difference. Floyd had showed the balance of, okay, I don't want to get hit, but if I do get hit, I got to do something about it. I'm not going to capitulate mentally. Floyd gets in there and fights. When he gets hit, he's going to fight his ass off he did with Miguel Cotto.
AJ fought Povetkin, yeah? where Povetkin was all right, yeah. The Povetkin busted his nose up. His nose was bleeding. He ended up stopping him, right? He been hit in every fight he been at, and he still knocks them out. But you saw that, I don't know what you've been watching. You sound like AJ, some crybaby. Like AJ.
I would agree with you.
AJ got hit when he went against Ruiz. Even when he still went to fight him, but he didn't have nothing because Ruiz was better than him. He still went to fight him.
Look what happened to his style after that. He completely tried to change his style after that.
Yeah, because he was styled to win his belts, but that's the smart.
Okay. He stuck with the same style ever since. He still ain't gotten over that Ruiz loss.
That's an idiot.
Let's not get it twisted. He ain't got over that. He said himself, dude, it ain't about trying to please the crowd anymore. It's about me trying to preserve my safety.
Kyle's with me as well. He gonna knock out Usyk. So down there, my man said Rocky Marciano is still the best ever. Yeah. Man, that don't mean shit. He ain't the best ever because he never lost. If that's all he's got, that ain't good enough. Get out of here with that bullshit. Get out of here. You know what I mean? That ain't good enough. He that's the only reason why he on the list, because if he's bitch ass fucking on the list, then he wouldn't be in that shit. That's why I know. Yeah,
true. He would have got knocked out by Liston if he stuck around.
Yeah, Joe Louis in his prime would have toasted Rocky Marciano. You know what I mean? He would have smoked, but Rocky did what he did and beat whoever he beat. And Klitschko, I don't give Klitschko no props. I never rate Klitschko anyway. I ain't never rated Klitschko.
Yeah, AJ's reaction.
That bullshit about no decade. That bitch had skirt boarded loads of opponents, bro. He was getting flatlined until Manio came and freaking grabbed his.
Hey, you know what? I think what he did though, Vladimir, even though he won some of his rematches, but I think what the Klitschko brothers used to do, right? They always used to put these little clauses in their contracts. Should you beat me, you got to fight my brother.
That's right.
I think that's what Vladimir would do when he took losses against guys like Lamont Brewster and Corey Sanders. They would have to fight Vitaly, and Vitaly would beat them, and then they'll be softened up for him, for Vladimir to take the rematches.
Yeah, that's how they used to do you. If one don't get you, the other one get you. Another one they used to do, and the contract is to make sure you didn't get less than a mil. You only got probably one.
Hey, Stanley Hudson says, what other heavyweights undefeated, sir? Ike Iwabuchi.
Man, Ike Iwabuchi was good, man.
Yeah, he was undefeated, but is he the greatest heavyweight of all time? No. So
Tyson Fury's undefeated. Tyson Fury's undefeated. Tyson Fury gonna finish his career undefeated as well. Looks like.
Yeah, it looks like. I told you, dude. It seems like because that 30-day deadline is up now for Fury to negotiate with Usyk, which we all knew that wasn't going to happen. So the WBC is going to make a decision on Tuesday, and I think they're going to mandate the fight, but. Is Tyson Fury going to go through with it? I doubt it.
Nah, he gonna drop the belts, man. Get out of
here. I'm telling you, he's not going to fight Dillian White. I just don't see it, man. I'll be surprised if he takes it.
That's Dillian, bro. Listen, if he fights Dillian White, yeah, right. I'll be honest with you. Dillian White is more payday than Usyk. So Tyson Fury stuck in the hard play. If you fight Usyk, you lose. You're getting less payday. If you fight Dillian, you're getting your biggest ever payday. So he has to fight Dillian.
Nah, I would just say it's one of his biggest. It won't be the biggest. I think his biggest payday was to coming from Deontay Wilder. We all know that. Those two fights.
What the Deontay Wilder on his back right now? Get out of here. We're talking about right now. Deontay Wilder's on his back. Get out of here.
Nah, his payday with Dillian White will not amass the payday he got for Wilder. Those Wilder fights. That's not going to happen. The only other fight that's going to amass that is the Joshua fight. If they can come to that.
That's because this is where your Americans talking. Where do you think the fight's going to be held, Dan? It's not going to be held
in the UK. Well, how much is those persons going to be? How much is those persons going to be?
I'm in the UK, and I'm telling you right now, if Tyson Fury fights Dillian White, that's a stadium fight, pay-per-view, big money.
What's the purses? Fight. How much he's going to get for that fight?
Dillian's going to get a career high, probably 25 to 30 mil.
He ain't getting that fight, Tyson Fury. Nah, he ain't getting that. Dillian White is not that type of fighter.
Tyson Fury's gonna make at least about 60 mil on this fight. Come on.
Tyson Fury probably make about 20 million at best.
No.
He gonna make 25 million at best. Dan, First of all, this is a mandatory fight. This is a mandatory fight. It ain't no way.
Dan, we've got history in the UK of serious rivalries, right?
I get that.
Nigel Benn, Eubank, yeah. You know what I mean? There's rivalries. I'm telling you, Daniel, in the UK, that is a blockbuster. That's a stadium.
I'm not denying that fact, but we're talking about the purses. I'm talking about the
purses.
purse.
I'm gonna say the gate, the purses, the merchandise. When it all comes down to it, yeah, them two are gonna make a killing, bro. They're gonna make.
They're gonna make money, but Tyson Fury's not gonna get a career high purse fight Dillian White. Stop! Come on, stop reaching with that, EJ. You know that, and I know that. That's not gonna happen. Okay. He's going to get a high purse, no question about it. But this is not going to be a career high purse.
I'm bugging.
And shout out to Khalil. He knows what's up, man. He knows what's up. So,
I mean, you're not in the UK, but you're trying to tell me on his back, Wilder's going to make more money.
It don't matter if Wilder got on his back. The fact is that Tyson Fury got his largest career paydays for fighting Deontay Wilder. Not once, but twice. Those were his career high paydays.
Man, that's a waste of time. Let me tell you something.
He made, let me see, his three Wilder fights. Tyson Fury made about almost $80 million. Okay.
I'm not hearing that bullshit. Then
so what makes you think he's going? That's not going to Dillian White fight's not going to surpass that. I'm sorry, bro. It's not going to happen.
Bro, when they're done with the promotion, yeah, with them two going at each other, they'll drum up so much attention that everyone in the world will be watching that fight. Let's put it that way. All right?
Well, I'm not sure about the world, but definitely the UK.
No. The world awaits, man.
Well, if that fight happens here in the States, maybe that's a better chance of international attraction.
Nah, because Tyson Fury for the States, a lot of these American people who support Tyson Fury, they'll come over. That's what I'm saying to you, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah. Hey, but yeah, speaking of that, why is it that Eddie Hearn match was so they want this fight to go to purse bid? Why aren't they willing to negotiate? I don't get that. Why?
If you go purse bid, you got higher split.
No. The WBC sets a split between the mandatory challenger and the fighter. That's all it is. All right. The purse bid only guarantees whoever bids for the fight gets to control all the terms. They can't control the split. They can control the terms, how much you're going to get versus what in the split. That's all it is.
I don't. Eddie's stingy. He ain't gonna bid for that. Eddie just wants.
Well, he wants to bid for it. He said he wants to bid for it. So
he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win against Frank Warren and Bob Arum. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, I know. I agree. That's why I'm wondering why is he so keen on that? Because are they gonna have somebody else to bid for it, like the Zone? Is that what they're counting on?
The thing is, Eddie's trying to control the belt. See, Eddie could have wrapped up Tyson Fury, Dillian White. And just a long time ago. So then he let Tyson Fury go. This time he's like, I can't let the belts go. So either way, he's gonna get paid. So if he bids and wins, that means he has to host it.
Well, I'll tell you what though, if he bids, okay, somebody should ask this question. Okay, if you get outbid for that fight, are you guys gonna pull out like you did against Kubrat Pulev?
What do you mean?
Because this is what happened last time when they wanted the fight to go to purse bid with Dillian. That was against Kubrat Pulev. And the reason why, because they were so confident that they were going to beat Pulev in the purse bid. It turns out that some bidder out of nowhere bid $1.2 million for the fight. And then Pulev's team won the purse bid. And then when they won the purse bid, Dillian White pulled out of the fight.
Is that right?
Yeah. He pulled out. Because the fight was going to go to Bulgaria. And they didn't want that. I was like, fuck that. We ain't going to Bulgaria.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, because he would have got work, man. That Bulgarians, they would have been waiting for Dillian. They said, hell no, I ain't got that there.
Yeah, that's my point. Is if they lose that purse bid, are they gonna still go with the fight? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, you answer your own question. If Dillian pulled out, then they're definitely gonna pull out.
Yeah, if he pulls out, then you know what? I don't want to hear that shit about he ain't ducking out on Wale. He's taking a bigger fight. Well, he pulled out of the Tyson Fury fight. He pulled out.
That fight's gonna be in Manchester, Tyson Fury's home place in Manchester, and that's what that stadium in Manchester, Old Trafford. That's where they're gonna have that fight in.
And Khalil going at Stanley in the chat. He said Marciano's not even the top 10 greatest heavyweight of all time, so shut your channel down.
Yeah, he ain't, man. But I like Rocky. Hey, Rocky's exciting. Like if you're talking about entertainment, Rocky's the man. But he's very entertaining. He into stuff. He was hitting the guy after the bell. Rocky was
a very rugged fighter. He did what he had to do to win fights. But let me just say this though. Look. I know many people criticize his resume because look what he fought. I mean, at the end of his career, he fought a lot of guys that are way past their primes. But to be fair, though, at the time, you could say at the time when Rocky fought in the heavyweight division, that's when the heavyweight division was on decline. That was a time you could compare that to. The Klitschko's where they were fighting.
Yeah. No, it wasn't in decline.
It was on decline.
No, it wasn't in decline. No, it wasn't. I'll tell you why. It wasn't in decline, but they didn't want certain black fighters fighting for the belt. That's why it wasn't.
Really? Like Floyd Patterson, who was fighting at light heavyweight?
Nah, not Floyd. No, Sonny Liston, bro.
Well, Sonny Liston was a prospect, so he wasn't even a top 3 contender.
Sonny Liston was there. There was other guy called Nino Thingy Valdez. There was quite
Nino Valdez, yeah. But look, so Liston was like in his 12th fight where Rocky was like, when he was going at it. Yes, he was.
No, he was
like
not,
in his 13th
man.
Fight. Come on, man. He was his 13th fight when Rocky Marciano was fighting Archie Moore, man. I'm telling you.
Let me ask you a question. If Rocky Marciano fought Sonny Liston, who wins?
Probably Liston because he was a prospect. He was hungry.
And let me tell you, let me put it again. If you fought him in his 12th fight, it would still be the same result. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
When I say I was gonna say there was other black contenders at the time and they didn't get a title shot. That's what was going on. I'm trying to tell you. So when you say it was weak, it weren't weak. It's just that they didn't want certain guys getting the title shot. That's what it was. Remember,
was Liston even ranked when Marciano was a champion?
He'd been ranked from the fucking start. But remember again, yeah, he cleaned up everything, innit? He cleaned up everything. The mob control. They didn't want him to get the belt, man. That's why. Even when they manufactured and put. We said, look, we're gonna bring a champion through, a clean cut All American champion that we can respect. And they bought Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson was Olympian. He had a clean cut record. That's the guy we want to have the heavyweight championship of the world. So they put Rocky Marciano. That's why if you see the footage on YouTube, Rocky was the promoter. Rocky was pushing that. Rocky was saying, Floyd Patterson really came up. That's why you hear him in the commentary, because he was the one backing the next heavyweight champion, which is Floyd Patterson. So he was basically handing the reins over him. When he beat Archie Moore, that was it. He went on something. He went on a couple of things, but he just tried to stay away from them kind of fighters. If you notice, when he was contending, he only fought one black guy. When it was time when there's all the black contenders.
There's Charles, the Cincinnati Cobra, which I felt he lost that first fight. But go ahead.
Who's that? Floyd Patterson? Who you talking about?
No. I'm talking about Marciano. When he
I'm talking about Floyd Patterson. Oh. Yeah, have you seen it? Yeah, that first fight he lost. Yeah, exactly. That Ezra Charles. If anyone wants to YouTube, Ezra Charles beat Rocky in that first fight. Like the second fight, Ezra wasn't the same guy. I don't know what they did to him. Drugged him. I don't know what they did to him.
Yeah, he was definitely not the same guy.
That's the one that everyone keeps saying now. Rocky knocked him out, but Ezra was putting hands all up on it, all over him, but he wasn't going to get the decision. You don't care what he did. He had to knock Rocky out. That's it. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. You know.
True.
So so that there was a lot of politics going on in the heavyweight division. That's when Ali came in. You know, he ain't gonna be no Floyd Patterson. He ain't gonna come in like this, that, the other. He gonna come and break the whole monopoly. You know, he's gonna talk shit. And the heavyweight division is never the same again. So Ali changed the whole landscape of the whole thing. And there's people actually say that Ali had a fix with Liston. Ali told Liston to take a dive. Madness.
Who knows, man? I don't know about that, but who knows? But you do understand that these fighters do be having these fighter meetings. You do understand that before they fight each other.
Man, you talking jive, man. You talking jive.
I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying, who knows what happens in these discussions with these fighter meetings? Who knows?
Cleveland Williams, another one. Cleveland Williams was there, right? How do you think Cleveland Williams would have fought against Rocky?
That would have been a dangerous fight for Rocky.
Cleveland Williams with a knock thing. How about Cleveland Williams versus Floyd Patterson? How come they never fought? You see what I'm saying? Look at the contenders that Floyd. See, they put Cleveland Williams in there against Sonny Liston to take him out. Right. he was Rocky's what do you call it? Rocky protector. You know what I'm saying? That's what he had to go for.
So he was a shield, just like White with Joshua.
Yeah, right? Because if you look at it, right, they thank because you're a shield. When Ali got the belt, then they said, okay, because you gave us a shield for Sonny, we're gonna put you against Ali. We're gonna give you something. Because he used to sell out the Houston Astro, like completely sell it out. You know what I mean? That's how he was making his money. But you know, he got shot in his leg. That guy's tough. Well, Ali said that guy's tough, man. He got shot in his leg and he was still giving Ali a hard time. Like Cleveland Williams and Sonny Liston, they will avoid them guys there. If they ever got their hands on Rocky Marciano, the so-called undefeated, he wouldn't be undefeated. Understand that? Look how big them guys are. Even when you look at them, they're huge. They would have messed up thing. It would have been a fight for his life because Rocky's tiny, man. Rocky tiny. They would have laughed at him, bro. Real talk.
Yeah, I mean, he was heavyweight champion, 189 pounds, 190. I mean, Floyd Patterson was around that weight too at the time.
I could bring up the stats to show you when Cleveland Williams was starting his career and when Rocky started his career to give it him.
Right.
But, you know, I don't want to bore everyone with history, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's what it is. But you know, hey, me and Dan could talk forever, man. It's good. Hey, Dan, anything else coming up? Anything so you got Porter, you got Crawford by points. I got Porter by knockout. Everyone's EJ bugging, but I don't care. I like Porter. I tell you why. I tell people why I'm picking Porter. The reason why I'm picking Porter because I believe that every time Porter been up a high level, he always performs at the highest level. He either beats you or he'll lose, but he'll lose very close. He'll never be out. Kell Brook even had to hold on for his life just to get through that fight, and Kell Brook never fought an A-level fighter until he got battered by Triple G and he got battered by Errol Spence. But after that he disappeared. But if you look Crawford, look what Porter did. He rebuilt himself and won the belt again and won the WBC belt again and then challenged again against the best. And he never shocked none of the top guys. And I believe that because he's been fighting at a higher level, when he gets in there with Terence Bud Crawford, he gonna do him dirty. And now I believe that because I believe iron sharpens iron, and he's been against the very best. But other than Crawford, even though he's looked good against the opposition, he ain't never fought in the top 5. The guys he be fighting, none of them in the top 5. They ain't none of them. He be steadily fighting Furman, fighting Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Danny Garcia. Yo, bro, Ustastas, whatever Ugas. He used to spar Manny Pacquiao. yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ugastas. Yeah. He used to spar Manny Pacquiao, right? To help him get ready. Like, this guy ain't taking no shortcuts. In boxing, no shortcuts as a professional. He goes in against the hardest. People laugh at him. He's a ram man and the first guy to clean out Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I mean? Beat Devin Alexander to catch the IBF belt. You know what I'm saying? Beat Broner. Like, these, just look at he loses some. But he goes, he said, yeah, I'll go. I'll fight. Okay, cool, I'll fight. He ain't never had a problem fighting the guys. So that's why I believe he'll beat Crawford. I believe that Crawford, even though he's looked good against them, he ain't never been in against that guy, and he's still fresh. If he was to stop Porter, Crawford will merge to me as the pound number 1, and then no one can tell me nothing. That's why what Porter's done. I don't care what anyone said. I don't care about Canelo Alvarez. We're beating thingy. But because you look at Porter's resume, all right, I'm gonna reel it out because I might as well do that.
So you'd say that his win would be more impressive to get him on the status than Alexander Usyk?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop. You talking about stopping him now? By the way, we're talking about actually stopping him. That's, stopping Sean Porter is like what? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna reel off the names that Sean Porter has been fighting consistently, and then I don't need to go Crawford because Crawford we know is tender. It's tender, and it's at lower weights as well, right? You know what I mean? We gonna get to this. Okay. Sean Porter is people are gonna have to put respect on that guy's name at some point and say this guy is a Hall of Famer, man. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. He's just a ram man, rugged type of guy. But boxers always had different style. Because you don't like his style, you can't credit the thing. All right, we're gonna start from way back, right? So let's talk. Devin Alexander in 2013. Paulie Malignaggi stops him. First man to stop him. He loses to Kell Brook, but Kell Brook's a top fighter. He loses to him, builds himself back up again. I ain't mentioned Eric Bones because I don't care about him too much. He wins a 12 pounder. He gets knocked down by Adrian Broner, but he wins the decision. Then he goes back in, when he goes back in there, he goes against Keith Thurman. Then he goes in at Andre Berto. He stops Andre Berto. He gets unanimous against Grenades. Then he beats Danny Garcia, takes Danny Garcia's WBC belt. He beats Ustaf, who just beat Manny Pacquiao. Then after that, he fights Errol Spence Jr. Forget about Sebastian Fournier or whatever. I'm not really bothered about him. And now he's going to fight Terence Crawford. So you look at the names from Devin Alexander. So you got Devin Alexander, Paulie Malignaggi, Kell Brook, Adrian
let's not forget about that.
Andre Berto, Grenades, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. Like, a real talk. And in all these fights, he goes the decision or he wins. So my opinion is this. Like, Crawford ain't. This is the real deal. And how old is he now? How old is he now? Is his age? Let me see how old he is. You don't really got his age here. Why is he got Short Porter's age, dog? You have his age. How many amateur fights? He goes amateur fights as well,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He fought Usyk in the amateurs. You know that, right? Sean Porter.
yeah, he beat Usyk in the amateurs, didn't he?
Yeah, he
He's
did.
and he's 27 years of age. No,
No, Sean Porter's 27. He's older than that.
Nah, he's 34. My bad.
Yeah,
Now I was looking at his birth is October the 27th. That's what he's 34 years of age, man. He's 34 years of age, and he be fighting iron top clad.
Hey, you know it's funny though, because a lot of people when some of us point out that he beat Usyk in the amateurs, you do understand that, right?
Yeah,
it's like, well, right. Usyk was 17 years old. I was like, well, so was Porter. They were both the same age.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You see how that works? People try to dismiss it, right? This is how people are, man. Dan, this is how you have to catch them up. You have to be sharp, Dan. Like, you know, you have to be fast. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. So, all right, if anyone's got some money, bet on Sean Porter. To say you right now, it's gonna be an upset. One of the biggest that is gonna be one of the biggest upsets in modern boxing history. Sean Porter is gonna get in, and he's gonna get his respect.
Well, hey, look, if Porter wins a fight, I won't be mad. I think he deserves it because if it's he's been on short end on 3 decisions. You can argue he beat Thurman. You can argue he beat Brook. You can argue that he beat Spence. So if he comes through with this, man, I can't be mad at the brother. He's been in there with all the best. He given his 100%. So you can't complain. He fights anybody, anywhere.
Yeah. Let's look at Bud Crawford, right? I remember when I saw him. I think the first fight I saw him was Brady Prescott. He got a unanimous decision against Brady Prescott. He struggled in that fight. And I think people booing him on that fight because he struggled. The first fight I remember him making headways was Ricky Burns. You know what I mean? But who's Ricky Burns this day? The Euroscan Bowl put him on the map. You know what I mean? Ray Beltran. These are the names he's fighting. Thomas Delorme, Derry John. You know what I'm saying? Hank Lundy. He ain't the same names, right? These are the B-level guys, right? What's his name? Victor Posto, John Molina Jr., Felix Diaz. These Julius Ondongo, Jeff Horn, Jose Benavides Jr., Amir Khan. Amir Khan is washed. You know what I mean? Velasquez, yeah. Kelbrook, come on. Yeah, look at the names, bro. And then you go Porter, and you hear Porter, Errol Spence, Furman, boom, all prime. He was fighting them all in their prime. In their prime. I'll tell you what, if Porter was fighting the level of competition that Crawford would be bodying them as well. Crawford would smack the hell out of all of them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a good point.
That's why he's gonna win. So that's my.
Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of Khan and Brook, you heard they're close to making a fight. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Like, listen, it's gonna be better than around the Holyfield and Mike Tyson probably.
Wow, man. Well, I mean,
I'm just saying it's gonna be better. Like they're shot to bits, but they gonna be better. It's gonna be better than that because it's like a little old rivalry. It's just old.
So it's a crossroads fight, but a rivalry that's long overdue. I mean, is there enough fan interest for that fight on your shores? Do you really
nah. It's just like people that's over in the UK. You see, we're the fighting country, as you see, right? We don't really care. We'll watch anything and support and give the guys props. That's how we care. I think we got the old mentality where in America, I think some of your commentators have made boxing very sour. They're so very negative about the sport and what they expect. And you're not doing this. It's like whining crybabies, like the Republicans and the Democrats, and they treat boxing the same way. We don't have that kind of politics like that. You know what I mean? We have our politicians, but we're not fan cheerleading like that. You support 1 minute we support Labour, next we'll support Conservative, depending on what they do, but we don't fan them like that. You know what I mean? Well, I don't anyway. And like when it comes to the boxing, we just simply, was it good? Was it good? How did this guy make you feel? I was talking to my mom and she was talking about she saw Wilder versus Fury. She said she loved that shit. That shit was good, bro. Yeah, he goes out. That was a good old slugfest. That was a good old slugfest, you know. It was upset out there when Wilder got, because when Wilder was getting that beat down, and then Wilder got wobbled and put down. He's like, this is it. And Wilder turned it around. He's like, yo, what's that? So Wilder and Fury is definitely the fight of the year.
Yeah, it is.
Ain't nothing beating that. Upset of the year. You got two upsets of the year. You got Kiko Martinez is probably the biggest, right? And you got that what's it? Not Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia.
Sandor
Versus,
Martin and Martinez.
both of the Spanish boys are up there, and you probably got Terry Harper, probably another one. But the biggest upset is definitely going to be Terrence Crawford losing to Sean Porter by knockout.
I wouldn't call that a big upset, but we'll see.
He struggles against short guys, you know.
Yeah, Terrence. Yeah, he does. I mean, Bo was putting hands on him in their fight in their first few rounds. So, yeah,
Porter is harder.
Yeah, 40 hits a lot harder. That's true. A lot harder.
You changed your mind yet?
No, I'm gonna stick by it. I'm gonna stick by my initial prediction. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out.
Josh is gonna come back and beat stop Usyk as well next year as well.
Good luck with that one.
If he does, you gonna give his props?
Absolutely. I'll be surprised.
You gonna stop with the chin bullshit?
Shut up, man. I'm still gonna stick by that, but okay.
What about what's Wilder? What do you think Wilder gonna do on the comeback?
I think if everything does check out as we've been hearing recently, their comeback opponent is Trevor Bryan. That's for the WBA regular title. I think that would be a good fight for him. Just to build his confidence back. I still don't count that title as a real legitimate title, but it is what it is. If Wilder wins it, then okay. I think he will because Trevor Bryan is not a progressive heavyweight. He's definitely got some good skills, decent skills, but he's slow as molasses. Doesn't move his head. He has no defense whatsoever. So I expect Wilder to win that fight. Then after that, Robert Helenius is another opponent that they're talking about. Get back in, fight Robert Helenius, knock him out. And then Andy Ruiz, which should be a tougher fight, beat Ruiz. And then, I think that's the roadmap that I'd see Wilder's team taking.
Yo, 100%, Dan, man. Yo, Dan the Man, make sure you guys sub to Dan the Man Boxing, one of the best channels here on YouTube. The man knows his boxing, as you can see. Dan the Man, last words, man.
Man, I just want to say thanks for having me on, as always. It's always a pleasure to have these discussions and share our boxing insights with one another. Is a good thing. We debate in a healthy manner. So it's always good to agree to disagree. I was very happy to see what went down over the weekend. There was a lot of moments that took place on yesterday's card. So yeah, man, I can't wait to see all the other cards coming up, and hopefully we can end the year pretty strong for boxing. So yeah.
100%. Hope Benavidez fights Canelo.
Yeah, let's hope that goes down, but probably until next year.
All right, Dan. Peace out, man.
All right, peace out, brother.
Yeah, man. So that's Dan the Man there. Dan the Man signing off on this and that, man. I want to share something with you, man, in this boxing thing, man. Like, cause it's been bothering me for a while. This, you know what I mean? This guy here, this Canelo Alvarez, right? It's funny because he getting so much props, pound for pound best and this and that and accolades and stuff like that. Some of the level of his opposition is garbage, right? When Mayweather fought a better opposition, right? They would say Mayweather was boring. He's this, that, the other. The only difference is, I think when Canelo, he actually goes to the stoppage and actually thing. But against the level of these opposition, I'd go for the stoppage as well. They ain't none of them a threat. Ain't none of them got no feather fisted. But I can't blame Canelo beating who's in front of him, right? I don't want to hate on the brother, on Canelo Alvarez, because he clearly is a very good boxer. But man, is he going to get tested? I don't see on the horizon. This guy can do what he wants in boxing. He can drain guys on the scales. If he goes to the points, it looks like he's going to be. You're going to have to put this guy in the dirt. Put this guy in the dirt to take this guy out. Now, do I want Canelo to lose? I don't know. Is he good for boxing? Maybe. But I don't know. I don't think he's the real deal until I feel he fights a real competition and proves to me that he deserves to be the pound for pound. I don't see it. And even though Terrence Bud Crawford is fighting, he was fighting and looking good against the opposition. I had him pound for pound. I really just realized that only now he's going to be tested for his life. Sean Porter is going to test him. If he goes in there and stops Sean Porter, I'll have him above Canelo Alvarez. I don't care what anyone tells me. But Canelo Alvarez, he beats you in front of him and stuff. But these guys he beating, You know, the middleweight division and the super mid division, for whatever reason, the competition is weak. But there's guys out there gonna give him. You know what I mean? See, you know, I like to fight him. I see that Montiel, the one who fought the Charlo brothers. I won't mind to see him. That dude roll up. I'm also interested in the other Savage. What's his name again? Jaime Munguia. Yeah, Jaime Munguia. I don't think he beat Canelo, but he'll come in to fight. These are good fights for Canelo. You know what I mean? If Canelo can beat Benavidez, Jaime Munguia, some of them dudes there, then I'll start. Yeah, I'll say, all right, because these are all young lions that he could fight. You know what I mean? So we have to find out what he does. But he's undisputed. Is he the king? Nah, I don't think so. Not in my eyes. I think he good. Yeah, he good, but he ain't the king. He ain't the king in my eyes. Another thing I want to bring up, right? Triple G, yeah, dude, he fought Triple G twice. I don't give a shit. I don't rate Triple G. That's my opinion. I never rated Triple G fighting guys from low weights up there. They boosted that guy up. Now where he doing now? He's the middleweight, best in the middleweight. He hiding from the Charlos. When he's actually got competition in his division, where he at? Where's the smoke at? Like Triple G, where you at, bro? That's what I'm trying to say to you. Canelo is another one, man. It's another one, bro. But Canelo, give him credit. He fought guys, but I thought he lost. I thought he lost against Austin Trout. And the Lara fight, I'm happy he beat Lara because Lara came in to run. I don't give a shit about that. That's one fight I like Canelo beating. You know what? And when I think about it, I like when he beat the shit out of Billy Joe Saunders. So I got I like that when he beat Billy Joe Saunders. I enjoyed that joint as well. So just on that alone, man, let's let Canelo stay pound for pound for a while. But in terms of like stellar competition, like Oscar De La Hoya still was fighting great competition, man. Great competition. Oscar De La Hoya fighting great competition, even though a bit older. He's good. So that's my little rant on that. Victor Ortiz, Robert Garcia. Let's talk about Robert Garcia. Mikey Garcia's trainer, right? They call him Robert. I used to know him as Roberto Garcia back in the day. He was a super featherweight champion. His training methods hasn't changed one bit since taking over. He has his fighters fighting one way with their face. Good boxers coming forward, but they lose and there's no accountability. Robert is a great person, but as a trainer, he's okay. But I think with Robert, some of the guys he's got over there, Virgil Ortiz, over there, it's hard to see if these guys could win. But he had Marcus Madonna. That's the one who put him on the map. But you know, he's one of the best trainers out there. Is Robert Garcia, 100%. But when he loses, he's got excuses for days, you know. He's got excuses for days. So I thought I'd just bring that one up, have a little rant about that. But pound for pound, Canelo, yeah, he's definitely exciting. But you know, against some of his opposition, it's like, yeah, it's not the same. But which boxers these days is giving everyone what we want? You know, I like Mauricio Lara, man. You know what I mean? The Kiko Martinez, them dudes there, they come, they're warriors. They come, but they're not the most skillful, but they'll give you money, pleasure for your money. And you know, actually put the Gabe Rosado, shout out to Gabe Rosado, who gave Jaime Munguia a great fight. He came for it. He was actually trying to go for the knockout, but he couldn't get it done. But I like guys get going and giving it. After a while, you forget about the belts. You just sit back and enjoy a fight. If you haven't seen it, check out Gabe Rosado versus Jaime Munguia, one of the most entertaining fights of the weekend, and it went the full distance. And Jaime Munguia looked like he can come and learn from that. And I got him. If he fights Triple G, he's going to give Triple G the business. So that's my little rant. Hope you guys enjoy me. I'm going to try and come back on again soon. You know what I'm saying? And try and do more things. So you guys have a blessed weekend. Anthony, McKee, Kyle Burton, Stanley Hudson, and all the rest of you guys up there. Zone Boxing and YG, all them guys there. Thanks. Shout out to Dan the Man coming over. And all the rest of you guys. You guys have a blessed weekend. And we'll catch you up very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.